We are live right now. Thank you for tuning in to No Fugazee podcast. I'm your host, Cooley. We got 4 lovely ladies here on the podcast today. We're going to talk dating and relationships.
Oh, that's right.
And we're going to have fun today. Thank you for all the subscribers for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Keep continuing to like, comment, and share the podcast and click that notification bell so you're notified when we go live or when we post content. Because as you see, we hit 20K and we've been posting mad content. So yeah, let's get started with intros, starting with you. Your name, age, and where you're from.
I'm Em. I'm 32. I'm from Jersey.
Jersey, okay. What part of Jersey?
Pretty. Thank you.
Period.
What part of Jersey?
Woodbridge.
Woodbridge. Okay. Woodbridge, New Jersey. What do you do for a living?
I'm a mental health clinician, and I also do life coaching.
Mental health. Hold on. Let me put this down a little bit for you. Put that like right there so it shows your face.
There we go. All right. Yeah. So I am a mental health clinician. I do life coaching, and then I have like my own business on the side where I customize sneakers and clothing.
Okay. Good for you. And how long have you been a mental health coach?
I've been doing coaching for about 3 years. I've been a mental health clinician in higher level of care for a year.
Okay. Nice. In higher level of care. Is it like therapy? You like work at a therapist's office or?
Yeah, I work with people with severe mental illness. So like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and then people with like addiction too.
And you're licensed?
I'm under supervision. I will be licensed.
Okay. Under supervision, but will be licensed. Cool. And what's your relationship status?
I'm single.
Single. How long?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years? Mm-hmm. Okay. Single for 2 years. All right. Moving right along. Name, age, and where you from?
Okay, I'm Amelia. I actually just turned 30 a couple weeks ago, and I'm actually from Allentown. Pretty much born and raised here my whole life, and the exception of living in Philly for like 3 years, but I've been pretty much here my whole life.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And what do you do for a living? Ladies, can you cut the mics pick up everything.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you have something, just hold it till we get to you. What do you do for a living?
I'm actually the fine jewelry manager over at JCPenney.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At the mall?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. And relationship status?
Single.
Single. How long?
About 2 years also.
2 years also?
Yeah.
What y'all talk to each other? Like, yeah, I'm going to break up with this nigga now.
We planned it. Yeah, we planned it.
Right.
We dumped him on the same day.
I figure that. And moving right along to yourself, name, age, and where you from?
Me?
Yeah, yo.
Dalia. My last name?
Nah, you want to give your government?
Nah, I mean, people know whatever I am. Like, all right, my name is Dalia. 26.
Dalia.
Dalia.
Dalia, 26.
And I'll be 27 next month.
Next month.
Gang, period.
Okay.
I'm a mother of 2. I have a 7-year-old son. My daughter's going to be 4 in October. I hustle. Like, is anything I could put my hands on, you feel me?
Okay, so that's what you do for a living.
Yeah, like I recently just lost my job, I'm not gonna lie to you. Because they thought I wasn't
unemployed?
too girly enough for the job. So I'm like, all right, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
But I hustle.
What was your job? You said you thought they were too girly. What was your job?
I was working at Sling Spa. So it's like you deal with like little girls.
Yeah.
They do like the whole spa thing, and I apologize. You deal with the whole spa thing and the moms and fathers and stuff. You gotta be very like princessy and bubbly, and I just don't. I guess to them, I don't have that personality.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, so.
But my future career though is the real tea. I want to be a psychologist. Like,
Okay, you want to be a psychologist.
and I commend her for that because she's.
You could work with me.
Yeah, like like that's what I'm trying to be, but I just have a whole different type of life reality that I'm living. So I gotta just do what I gotta do, basically.
Got you. So you're unemployed. And
yes, I am.
You hustling. You got your hands in everything.
And I'm taking classes.
You taking classes.
Yeah, for CNA.
Got you. So you're just trying to better yourself all around.
I'm just trying to better myself.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna get there. I've been through back, so
you said two kids, right?
2 kids, yeah.
2 kids. How old?
Single mom, 26.
How old is your kids?
Oh, my son's 7. He just turned 7 in July. My daughter's gonna be 4 in October.
Okay, you got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. So a son and a daughter. You plan on having any more kids?
I do, like 1 or 2, but that's like if I know it's for sure.
Spanish girls is like popping them out.
That's not. Ain't no
3 or
popping
4.
nothing out. Because if I was popping, I would have been popped out. Like There's a stretch.
that's a
7
fact.
years old and 4-year-old. Come on
Said
now,
it's a
like.
fact.
No,
So-
I want to be like I want the marriage. I want the marriage. I want the bond. I want the security. I want the connection.
So, question: what's your relationship status?
I'm single.
Single. How long? Don't be.
Does on and
fugazi.
does on and off count?
When was the last time you had sex? Because you ain't one to ask.
Doesn't really count because you can.
Wait.
When was the last time you had sex?
The honest truth? No Fugazee, right? Okay, so
This morning. Keep it a buck.
this morning, hell no. Last my sex was probably like 3 weeks ago.
So that's the dude you was on and off with.
No.
Okay, well you single.
Yeah, I'm single. Yeah, I'm
Another
single.
dude and you on and off with
Before
someone
that,
else.
the on and
you
off
single.
with, it was like for 2 years. Before that was like a 5-year relationship. So
Okay, so yeah, you fully single if you. Yeah. Okay. Moving right along. Name, age, and
Sorry.
where you from?
My name is June. I'm 21, and I'm from the Lehigh Valley. There we go. We'll just leave
Oh
it.
shit, I didn't even say
Yeah.
where I'm from.
21 from the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah.
You could say where you're from. I'm sorry.
Brooklyn, East New York, where the things
Okay.
bark. Period.
Okay, where your Tim's at?
My Tim's like I'm my Air Forces. like what
the
you
Air
talking
Force is
about?
Close enough. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. Back to June. June, you said you're from the Lehigh Valley. How old are you?
21.
21. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a bartender at a strip club.
Okay, bartender at a club. Are you stripping as well, or are you just bartending?
I was at first. I was a dancer it's been like a little bit over 2 years
Yeah.
now, but I switched over to bartending. I just think it fits my personality a little bit better.
Okay.
I think I'm a great pole dancer, but the rest of it, not really my forte. I hate people touching me. I don't like it no
so
more.
You were stripping, you had some old rusty dudes trying to touch you, and you was like, enough is enough.
Most men in general, let's make that clear.
Most
Can I say
men
something
in
up with
general.
that?
Sure.
Because I used to work night job too.
Wait, night
Like,
job.
look.
Be specific. You used to.
No, I used to like just be a bottle girl.
Oh,
But with
bartender.
her saying
Okay.
that, she said she don't like to be touched and all that stuff, and I understand that. But it takes a smart female, smart intelligence to work a night job, because you gotta know how to work a man's mind to get the extra fucking cash.
Yeah.
So you could feel like
Yeah.
but you're doing it because you know you're smart and you can get to it. You can get to the bag.
So you're saying it takes intelligence to finesse a guy.
And
to-
beauty, because beauty attracts that. And sometimes beauty might not attract that because your mind, they're stimulated off of that. So you're going to make some type of profit off of either or.
Okay.
So if you don't got one of the two, or you don't even got both of them, you're asked out.
What do you think makes a woman smarter? A woman that can finesse a guy for some money by, maybe showing her sexuality, or a woman that became a doctor or a lawyer?
It's both. Honestly, it's
What?
it is
Situational.
no, it is both, because it's like,
Wait, what?
no, let me really talk
out,
though,
hear
like for
out.
that ass. Like, it's because it depends on your life situation and the route that you took or the route that you didn't pick, and it was just there for you.
And
Just as long as you know how to maneuver in the state that you're in, you're good. That makes you a smart woman, because what the other person lacks, you got. What they got, you lack. So it doesn't even matter what type of era that you in right now. Like, you can make it work. What works for you might not work for them. What works for them might
that
not work for you.
Sounds like gibberish. So
That's
the truth
not
is-
gibberish.
I can add to that.
I'll
It's not.
I'll let you I'll let you ladies add, and I'll
It's
go
not
last. Go ahead.
gibberish.
I was going to say, I actually get her point, because people are intelligent in different ways. Some people are more book smart, which leads them on the path to becoming a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And then there's people who are street smart, and they're able to maneuver themselves around different situations.
You think, you are measuring intelligence by being able to take off your clothes, right? Let me finish. You're measuring intelligence. That's what you ladies are doing. You're trying to measure intelligence by expressing sexuality. Guess what? Most men find most women attractive. So it's not a hard sell. It's an easy sell. It's a much easier route to income. Fans in the porn industry are the porn industry, like Hub and all sites. They're the number one websites in the world. Why? Because men watch porn and they masturbate and they do weird things to females, and they pay for women's sexuality. There's a multitude of things in Pornhub and all of these other things, different categories. Men have strange sexual cravings, right? So it's not hard to sell sexuality. You could sell feet pics and make some okay money. All of you ladies can. So think about it. If we're measuring intelligence and we're saying that, oh, well, it takes all of these smarts and brain power to convince a guy to pay me some money out of his pocket, well, no, that's very easy. That's the easy way out. The smart girl is the one that doesn't have to use her sexuality. She uses her brain to make the income. You get what I'm saying?
Can I say? Can I
actually, before you go, she wanted to go. You first.
All right, no problem.
Just to like add on to what both of these ladies said, I think it's important for people to just play on their strengths. Like just using myself for an example, me, like I can't be no bottle girl or no dancer.
Quick thing, just before you go. This is what I'm trying to let you ladies know. You said play on your strength. All of you have the strength.
Everybody does as a human being.
No, listen. It doesn't matter what I rate you ladies. In my mind, it doesn't matter because there's always a that gets no pussy that's going to think you're God's green earth.
But even pussy.
What
are you talking about? Because if you're a definition of a is a who will fall for anything. Excuse my language. A man or a dude or a boy, whatever the will fall for anything. So
that's not the definition of a simp.
That is a simp. Y'all take it into a different dialect than we do. No, that's a simp. Well, a simp is a guy who's gonna fall for anything, is gonna do anything to your needs. They're gonna fall to their needs for you, whatever you want, because they're desperate. To the female.
So as I was saying, to make it very simple, right? You used the term, and what was the term you said again?
Use your strengths.
Use your strengths. Okay. So the point I'm making is that it isn't a strength. It's very simple for you to use your beauty. Any girl can use their beauty and make money. That's the most simplest thing. How is that strength?
No, I get that. Hear me out though.
Anything like you're not using any intelligence. You're doing the opposite of intelligence. You're saying, well, I know that men like this. That's very easy to observe that men like beauty. So guess what? I'm going to sell my beauty because that's the easiest way out.
Not everybody has access to a college education. Let's be real. Not everybody has the capacity to be a lawyer, to be a mental health clinician, right?
Okay.
So hear me out. Like using myself as an example, I can't be no bottle girl. I can't be no stripper. I'm clumsy. I'm gonna eat all the hot wings. Like I can't do it. It's not my comfort zone. Not gonna work. But like I'm good at the mental health clinician. But that's not for everybody. So if you have an easy way to make money, if that's within your comfort zone, if it doesn't make you feel bad about yourself, if that's for you, go for it.
But you know, you say easy way out, right? Wait, you say easy way out and the easy way of doing things, right? Intelligence don't come in one form. It comes in different forms. So like, let's just say compare. I'm gonna just speak, please. So like, let's say comparing.
Yeah.
Somebody could come off of, okay, they came from a good household. They had all the shit handed to them. They could be intelligent in the fact that they have that backup up. They can get that education. They can do that. They have more of a chance of getting somewhere. Hold on, I'm not done. I'm not finished. You can't do that to me though, because I didn't even talk.
I got you. So I gotta correct you.
You didn't got me because I didn't say nothing.
No, I got you. I'm gonna explain it to you because I gotta correct you because
I didn't say nothing for you to correct me with though.
Well, it is because
no disrespect, but
education and intelligence is different. You can have education. So
that's not what I said though.
Yeah,
but you didn't listen to me.
Well, you did. You
it's
said
different.
Education and intelligence.
It's not a target. It's not one specific intelligence. It's intelligence for different things. You could be from a rich family, got you spoiled as hell, but you can take that and run with it and f your life over. Excuse my language. Or you can take that and advance yourself. That's a different type of intelligence. I'm going to take what I got and I'm going to do what I can with it. Then you got people that didn't grow up like that. You feel me? You take the little bits and pieces and experience you've been through, the struggles and up shit. But you have enough self-awareness and people awareness, the fact that you can do something with yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's different types of intelligence. You don't got to be street smart or book smart, none of that shit. You got to take what you got and make the best out of it.
All right, you land your plane?
I definitely did. I'm confident.
You land your plane. Okay. I mean,
I know how you do, so it
no, it's not a confidence thing.
It's not
please
confidence.
Listen to understand what I'm saying here. I'm not going to. Well, I'm going fully against what you ladies are.
And it goes for male or female.
You get what I'm saying? It's very simple, right? So she used an example of, well, because I didn't even, she didn't even finish introducing herself. I'll let you introduce her.
Bet you if you take a rich motherfucker, he wouldn't know what to do in the struggle.
I'll let you finish introducing yourself, but just let me land my plane here real quick. You were saying something about, well, yeah, what I do, I used to and then I became a bottle girl, and then you gave her, you gave her props for what she was doing, right? Bartender, I'm sorry. And then you gave her props to what she was doing, and then the rest of the girls got involved, and pretty much you ladies are saying that a woman that is sexualizing herself and is able to use her sexuality to manipulate men into giving them money takes intelligence. My argument is very simple. I said that takes a lack of intelligence. The reason why it takes a lack of intelligence is because men just are generally, men sexualize women. It's easy. It's an easy sell.
Men,
you get what I'm saying?
Men sexualize women, but it takes a certain type of women.
I'm not done yet. So it's an easy sell for the woman to do it. So it doesn't take that much intelligence, right? It's like I'm 6'4", right? Me playing basketball, me dunking is gonna be much easier than you dunking, right? Because I'm a man.
Of course.
So if I say, yeah, I have if I'm comparing me to you, and I'm like, yeah, I have all of these skills, and you see me dunking and windmilling and doing all this stuff.
I've seen female dunkers, they dunk hard as hell. Like
most women in the NBA can't dunk, so that's a fact.
It's not most.
No, most women in the NBA can't dunk, and they barely even dunk in the WNBA, and they barely even dunk in a game. So back to what I was saying. It's like me playing basketball and comparing myself to you. Like, yeah, I have all this skill because I could dunk. I'm 6'4". You're 5 what?
I'm 5'6".
You're 5'6". Of course, it's like me saying I have more skill than you. No, you just have it's biology. You have the height. I have the height. I have the bone structure and bone density and the athletic capabilities to have a higher probability of accomplishing a dunk. Make sense? So that's what women are, right? So women, when it comes to sexualizing themselves, it's an easy sell because men are just naturally attracted to women. You get what I'm saying? They buy like I said, the industry, the fins industry is all the men are the bigger buyers in those industries. Like females don't buy or buy fans, men buy that. So it's an easy sell. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't take that much intelligence. So a person that's a lawyer or a person that's a doctor, yeah, they have the education, but it took a whole lot more intelligence and obedience and discipline to be able to take it that far. No matter where you came from, doesn't matter if you had a crazy background. So that's my argument. So a woman stripping and manipulating guys to give them money doesn't take intelligence. It's very simple.
But you gotta understand, if men are actually sitting there buying porn that they can't physically touch, that means they must be desperate, right? You're buying porn.
That's not the point.
Women would take that to their advantage.
That's not the point. That's
they
a
have
whole
intelligence because they'll hire the price of what you're buying off of the internet.
No, that's a whole different point. You're moving the goalposts of the argument. That's talking about men are.
It's not. You said physical attraction and porn and sex.
Yeah, let June go. Go ahead, June.
Even taking it outside of porn, sex work, whatever you want to be, that's being a woman in general. Your example was just used off of you as a man because men are short and can't dunk. But as a female, 98% of the time, you're not going to get turned down for a lot of things in life outside of porn, sex work, at being your job or whatever the case may be, because you're a female. I walked into Five Guys today with my hair in a bun, sticking out all over the place, pajama pants from Target, a t-shirt that was bigger than half my body. I got my meal for free.
Gotcha. So that you're proving my point even further.
From the employee.
But you said attraction.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It just goes for being, I agree with you, but I'm saying it goes further than just outside of it being the job or whatever, or industry. It really is being a woman in general.
That's a different argument. You even prove my point even further. You would go
I do agree.
Yeah, you would walk out, like you said, the example you used, in baggy clothes, and guys would still hit on you, and try to holler and
it's just
pay
how
for
men
your things
are.
for free. It's because
As a man, it's much harder for you to have to please a woman because, not that it's as a man easy to be ugly, but if you lack even the simplest things as a man, women find you unattractive. There's top 3, 5, 4, you feel me, things that women look for in a man, and if you don't have even one of those things, most of the time it's hard to get women. It's hard to have a loyal woman. As a man, it's harder for you guys to please women in the world more than it is for us, because it really is biology, and it's really how people view women. Women are sexualized.
It is.
That's why I agree with you, because it really
true.
is.
When you first come across somebody, is obviously physical attraction. Like, I have friends that would be like, he ugly, why are you with him?
That's why it's hard to find a man
find
that
him
loves
ugly.
you for you.
I like him because he's confident. His confidence makes me like him. So just like what she said, happened to me before. You could walk in baggy clothes, hair up,
get it.
your hair's all, your face is plain or whatever the a man will physically find you attractive because at the end of the day, it revolves around confidence.
Well, no.
And then when you get to know them,
really attracted
it'll
to
probably
confidence.
break a barrier or something like that. It could be good or bad.
Yeah.
You could physically, when you first look at somebody, I want to get to know them. I find them attractive.
Yeah, that's how the woman looks at it.
No, it's man and woman. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah.
I judge very physical too for a woman.
Me too. But
towards
my
biology, just because
the people I'm attracted to,
you
a
look
lot
at
of
somebody
females
24/7.
won't find it attractive, but I physically do find it attractive. Like,
I get what you're saying.
I'd be like, okay,
but
like,
the
alright.
point I was saying about all of this, which she even agrees with me.
And I agree with both of
Can
y'all
I
in a
add to
different
that?
sense.
Wait, what you want to add
It's
to?
not.
I actually agree with what you're saying. Like, I feel like the point that you're making is it doesn't take any special skill to,
Yeah, it takes no special
do
skill.
OnlyFans.
It's not intelligence,
which,
it's really
it's not
just-
intelligence, which I
the
absolutely
opposite.
agree with.
I was only
but-
speaking on
But you
intelligence
can
because you
use
brought
it
up
in an intelligent way to surpass even what you get naturally. If you actually try even harder with it, what we're given, you can go above and beyond. It's women out here with sugar daddies that take them on vacations,
Yup.
pay for their bills,
I think it's
give them
yup.
whatever they want.
Yeah, ladies, you forgetting the point.
Barely-
It isn't anything
forgetting the
valuable.
point.
Is because
If
the
an ugly
women that
motherfucker
take it-
got money.
Hey, yo, chill. One mic at a time. The women that
bruh.
sexualize themselves
Then we
and,
gotta look at it
and get
physically.
simps and have garner attention or money or any resources from simps, they don't respect those men. So it's pointless. You're just using someone. That isn't valuable. God doesn't value that. Your mother or grandparents doesn't value that. Your ancestors wouldn't value that. It's not a good thing. But let June finish introducing herself. June, you
I
told me what
forgot.
you do for a living.
Yeah, there we go. I serve alcohol now.
You
so.
serve alcohol now. You off the pole.
I mean, I definitely still hop up on there during my
Okay.
shift. You feel me? But we're just in a different
Ain't nothing
uniform.
wrong with that.
We're in a different
Get it how you can get
uniform.
it. Period.
Okay, you do
Who's
still
to
hop
judge
up
you?
on a pole. That's
We're
what's
just in a different uniform.
so. Relationship status.
I am in a relationship.
How long?
Not long. It's fairly new. Like we'll say 6 months, maybe max.
6 months?
Talk.
And when
and
did
see
you
ask me.
start? When did you get off the pole and start, doing the bottle girl stuff or the bartender stuff? Was that when you got into a relationship or before?
Actually, it was probably right when him and I started talking, which it's so weird that you asked that because I just had this conversation with him the other day,
Yeah.
how part of my reason to switch over to bartending wasn't just because I didn't like it anymore or because I didn't want to be touched or it wasn't my forte, however I want to put it. But it also was because I really like him enough where I want to give him that respect as well.
Yeah.
Like I understand that he's very secure in himself and has made it clear to me that he doesn't care that I'm a dancer. He would prefer doing certain things over not during the shift, but it was just like how I felt when he goes and tells people who his girlfriend is and they might know me and know what I do. So I don't want that to reflect on him in any way. It shouldn't. I don't like how society makes the whole dancer thing look, but I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with the person that I really love if I want to truly respect them. And I've been in relationships before during, in the past while I was a dancer and I didn't give a shit. So it's different now. Definitely different
that's
now.
good for you. I can see how. That's why I asked the question, because I'm sure usually guys have when they meet a girl and, maybe she's doing OnlyFans or
Yeah.
she's, stripping, they tend to angle the conversations of getting the girl out of that industry as soon as possible.
Right.
So, and it's good that it shows that you obviously, you like the man to some degree because you was on a pole multiple days out of the week and then you stopped doing that and now you bartending. So kudos to that part. But I could definitely assure you, I don't know this man, but he would definitely 100% prefer that you don't even bottle 10 at all, bartend at all. You don't sexualize yourself at all. That's what he truly wants in his heart. But he doesn't have he has it to say it in, I'm sure, but he doesn't have the value for you to enact on it right away. And I say that he doesn't have the value for you to enact on it right away is because if he did have the value, he wouldn't date a girl that's on a pole. He wouldn't even give it a chance. He'll be like, I have value. I have so many other options. I'll just pick a girl that's not on a pole. So that's one right there. So that shows that, because I'm a man, so I view other men, I coach other men. I know men that are low value. I know men that are high value. And I know the higher the man's value is, the higher his standards is. So it's good that he has some self-value that he got you, of course. And then he's like, get off the pole. And then he probably didn't really have to say too much. You just already knew, like, he's that guy.
And as a female, she does too have also.
Yo, one mic at a time.
I will also say though that it's not even the wanting to bartend in a strip club. It's just that I stayed at my home club to learn how to bartend so that I could get a little bit better at it before I take myself to a real bar, because unfortunately for the specific strip club that I work at, it's a little less professional as most strip clubs are. It's not the same as real bars. So I know that I need to get used to bartending at all to some extent before I take myself somewhere more professional. And I think it's good that I'm doing it where I've been doing everything the whole time, because I know, everything. So it's easy to get used to it and learn it and get comfortable, remember orders, things like that.
If he came to you, he's like, baby, you don't have to do this anymore. Y'all only been together for 6 months. So 6 months, and of course, is not that much time yet.
Right.
But if he came to you, he was like, baby, I don't want you to do this at all. Get a desk job, work in a cubicle. Would you do it, or would you be like, you're not paying my bills right now, so let me do this until you have the value to pay my bills, and then I'll do something else. Then I'll follow your lead.
I don't know if a half and half answer is acceptable, but
you could give me whatever you think.
It would be conversational if he said that, because I definitely wouldn't want to work a cubicle job or anything like that, but I would 100% be open to exploring something else right outside of that, if that's what would truly make him comfortable, only for the fact that if I came to him with the same question, I 100% know that he would do it back for me, because I'm secure. I'm secure in his choices when it comes to me and my happiness.
You're willing to pretty much follow his lead, what he says and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even if he's not per se paying my bills right now, and that would be a reason to be like, you can't control my job, that's not fair, because when it comes down to it being the opposite way when he is paying the bills, so does that mean that I have to do everything that he says? I wouldn't think that that's fair. So if that makes sense, because if I go and tell him I'm not going to switch my job because you don't pay my bills, he could go the next day and start paying every single one of my bills, and now it's like, okay, well, now I pay your bills, so now you have to do what I say. And I wouldn't want it to be like that. I want it to be a healthy conversation. Like, if this makes you uncomfortable, let's find ways to go around it and get out of it. As long as you would do that same thing for me, and you say that you will and you prove that you will, then I don't see any issue in that.
Yeah, I think most men in general.
And one last thing. Also, more often than not, your partner 100%, if it's a true good relationship, your partner always knows what's better for you, because you don't view yourself from the outside perspective that they do, being with them as much as you are. You're with your partner probably more than you're with anybody else. As adults, when we get into relationships, we're always with them. So that person sees you from the only other perspectives you can see yourself all the time. So when they tell you something, it's because that's what they see. They're the only other person that can give you the closest opinion that you could give yourself.
Yeah.
So
I'll say this.
They can catch things you don't. They catch things you don't.
Yeah, men, we operate in truly one way. I could have a girl, I could have 2 girlfriends, and we have good relationships. But one, you would be able to tell by the one I truly like more.
Right.
The one I truly like more, I have more boundaries and more standards
100%.
for that woman. The girl that I truly, it's cool vibes, but I'm not really gonna have those many boundaries for her. Yeah, go out to the club with your single friends, strip on a pole, do whatever you want. The girl that I love, I'm going to be have very high standards of her, and wouldn't want her to sexualize herself to the public. Wouldn't want her to, it'd be a multitude of boundaries that a man would have when he truly loves, respects, and admires a woman.
Right. I 100% agree.
Yeah, but I feel like it does. You hear me? I feel like it does go both ways though. Like, I agree with both of y'all. That's the crazy part. I'm a realist. I'm not sexist. I'm not biased with anything. Like I'm here to sit down and listen, to learn, and to teach at the same time. You feel me? So what she's saying was a valid point. What you're saying is a valid point. It's just perspectives of being and different experiences. So you can't take away from somebody just because they've been through this and that's the way they're handling it, because you might not know how to handle it the way that other person handles it from a different experience.
I feel like that all counts as who you are as a person.
Yeah, it's character.
Like,
it's character.
Yeah.
It's not gender.
Everybody prefers different things based on what
it's
they've
not
been
gender.
through.
It's not certain politics. It's being human, a human being. Like, this is what you know. You're going to take it. You're not going to be the product of your own environment. You're going to take that shit and you're going to learn from it, and you're going to put it into, you're going to plant seeds. That's how I take it. You're going to plant seeds and you're going to watch shit grow from your experience, and you're going to take your positivity with that negative and you're going to make shit happen.
Yeah.
And that's just that. And I feel like respect goes both ways. Like what she said with her job and stuff, her night job. Like she said,
Let's move on. We're going to get into a question where everyone can get on.
Nah, I agree with you though. Like, nah.
Nah, what she was saying, it has some validity to it.
Yeah, both facts. Both facts. I agree.
Starting with you. First question of the panel. We were just kind of random there. So who here, actually, show of hands, actually. Show of hands. No show of hands. Let's go around the panel on this one. Oh, actually, to the YouTube subscribers, all the YouTube viewers right now, I think we got, maybe 70 viewers right now. If you have a question to the ladies,
I was on camera.
Put a super chat. It could be anything. Send $1, send $5, whatever you have, it doesn't matter, but send in a super chat. I will read your questions to the ladies and they could answer your questions. So send super chats in.
I like that.
But first question on the panel. Have you ever been in a relationship and had a backup plan?
Like for somebody else?
Yeah, like have you ever been in a relationship and had a backup plan?
In all honesty, no. I've had an escape plan, but I've never had like a backup plan. Just keeping it real.
Wait, an escape plan? That's the same thing as a backup plan?
No.
Explain.
A backup plan is when you have a person in mind, like you're already looking onto your next relationship. An escape plan is when you just want to get the fuck away from somebody.
Were y'all living together?
No, this is like a very long time ago. We're talking, I'm 32 now. We're talking, going on 9-10 years ago. This is a long time ago.
So did your escape plan lead you to having a backup plan?
No, my escape plan led me to, at that time, keeping it real, I did not have the confidence in myself to know how to break up with this person because they weren't for me, but I obviously didn't want to be with them, but I was trying to figure out a way to break up with them in a way that, was not too hurtful. So I was trying to basically form a way that, we could end the relationship, but, in a way that wasn't too hurtful. But, as an adult now, in retrospect, you just got to rip that Band-Aid off.
Self-sabotage.
Okay, so you had an escape plan. I guess we could say that was a backup plan. So you've never been in a relationship or talking to a dude and you this is cool, but let me talk to this other guy as well, just in case this doesn't work out? In
all honesty, no. Most of my relationships have been fairly long term and stuff. So I'm the type of person, if I'm with somebody, I know you want to call bullshit. You could sit here, go through my. That's messed up.
I thought
Listen,
You want to go through my DMs, go through my stuff.
I thought it was one mic
Go right ahead. I'm the type of person, if I'm taking the time to date you, if I'm taking the time, that's an investment for me. Okay. Like, that takes time. That takes energy.
I believe her.
I'm very big on...
You believe her?
I believe her.
This is the mental health condition in me.
She sounds so authentic. She's not stuttering.
Move more towards your mic?
Her body... Her body movement is just completely on. Like, when you speak.
You. And I'm... Like,
And you're a therapist, like you said. You talk to people. That's your job, to be professional. And
to be a therapist is really hard. Like, I want to be a psychologist.
Yeah,
so you have to have a very strong mentality.
For you, right? So,
experience.
were you in a relationship and had a backup plan?
So in a relationship, no, never had a backup plan. I mean, talking to a guy, yes. And, I'll be like, let me talk to this guy and see how it works out. Just because, with talking, you're not committed. And chances are, if a man is talking to you, he's also practicing rotational dating. So you should be doing the same thing.
Ooh. So you think you should follow what a man does?
I have a question. What is rotational dating?
So dating different people, talking to different people, you don't have to sleep with them or anything, just dating and talking, going on dates, having fun, getting to know a person. And no, it's not necessarily about following what a man does, but more so not allowing yourself to get emotionally invested too soon.
Do you think it's good for a woman to have behaviors like a man?
In some cases, yes.
And what behaviors would those be?
So, like I said, practicing rotational dating.
You think that's good for a woman?
I do. Because, again, you don't want to get too invested emotionally too soon. You don't want to start planning your future together when it's only been a couple of days. And also...
Let me ask you a personal question. Do you plan on getting married in the future?
I do.
Okay.
I would like to.
Think about it, right? Let's just use logic. If you didn't think like a man and if you actually thought like a woman, you wouldn't use rotational dating, right? So rotational dating is it's okay for a man because men, we desire quantity. Women desire quality. So if you weren't acting like a man, behaving like a man, you wouldn't be 30 and single. You would be in a relationship and have a full husband right now. But the fact that you practice rotational dating, it got you used to and more picky. It's like going to an ice cream shop, right? Say if you got 2 flavors at the ice cream shop, chocolate and vanilla, it's gonna be an easy choice. You're gonna be like, okay, I'll choose chocolate. That's what I like. It's my favorite. Let me finish. But if you go to an ice cream shop and there's multiple choices and you want to try out the cookies and cream, you want to try out the cookie dough, you want to try out the rainbow flavors, you want to try all the flavors. Now you got a taste for everything, right? So since you got a taste for everything, when you're dating multiple men, you start comparing back from when you tasted rainbow, back from when you tasted cookies and cream, back from when you tasted cookie dough. You start comparing flavors. So it makes it harder for you to be able to settle down in a true relationship because you've experienced so much.
That's not everybody. Necessarily. That's not all the way true. No, that's not necessarily true.
To back this up, I'll tell you 2 statistics, right? So the first statistic that was done is that a woman that reaches a body count around 5 or 6, her ability to maintain a long-term relationship drops down to 20%.
Because of a man.
Right? And then the other statistic is, well, not even a statistic, this is just facts, right? Women have more oxytocin than men. Oxytocin is a chemical in the brain that allows women to pair bond.
And that typically releases when a woman sleeps with a man.
Yeah, so the more you are bonding with people, the more you are incapable of bonding with
But you're not bonding yourself right away because just because you're talking to someone and literally going on a date does not mean, it doesn't equate to sleeping with a person.
Right.
So you're not emotionally bonding. Again, just because you go on a date with someone, it doesn't mean that, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not talking about, sleep with this guy, sleep with that guy, be in a semi-relationship with this guy. I'm not talking about that. I'm really talking about dating. Before? No, that part I haven't done. So you didn't let me finish. So I'm talking about simply dating, meaning going out to a nice dinner, having good conversation, and seeing where it goes. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is rotational dating is basically like, okay, you go on a date, it went well, You're gonna be texting after, just kind of like, hey, you know, when can I see you again? But it doesn't necessarily mean like, you know,
It's the
oh,
same
we're gonna
thing.
sleep together. It just basically means that I'm not gonna start planning out our wedding after the first date, after the second date.
It's the same
However,
thing.
though, when I am in a relationship, once me and you have decided that yes, we want to be with each other, I'm all in. Like, so in a relationship, I've never had a backup plan, because the thing with me is that I love hard.
Okay.
You know, and that's why I don't get the thing is, I could get invested right away if I wanted to, but I don't, at least not until a month or two of talking and taking things really slow.
Yeah.
Because I know me. I know how like emotional I am, and I know how intense my emotions are. I will not allow myself to get that invested too soon to a guy who may not feel the same towards me. I will only get invested if I know a man is showing that kind of effort, that kind of emotional availability to me. So that's what it is. And it has nothing, and that's not why I'm 30 and single. There's multiple factors in that, but that's not the key reason.
What I was saying was, well, one, you're 30 and single is because you lack discernment, right? So think about it. If you had the ability to have discernment, that means, you know what discernment is? That means
I mean, I made a couple bad decisions. I'm not even going to lie to you on that. But
let me rock. Having the ability to be able to look at an individual, right? And read body language, ask certain questions to get to know the guy. You know what I mean? All women want a leader, right?
Right.
But women fall in love with men that have, women tend to fall in love with the bad boys, right? And the bad boys isn't always, they don't always have those leadership capabilities. You know, you want the guy with the tats, you want the guy that has the charisma. Yeah, well, he may be looking to just clap cheeks, is what I'm saying. So
I get what you're saying,
having
but
discernment to be able.
Not all women.
it really doesn't.
Girls want to fall in love with a bad boy, but women don't want to have to hide coke in their
And then can I
ass.
say
You know,
something
women
too?
want
I don't want
a
that.
man
I don't know
with
if
a
I'm
stable
in-
job
I don't know if
and,
like
you
that's
know,
what I'm
Right.
That's what my man is.
Huh?
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but all I'm saying is that even if you're dating a lot, right? Dating a lot is still it's still you wouldn't have to date a lot if you had discernment, is what I'm saying. If you had discernment and was able to make better choices in life based off the men that you observe, right? Then you would be like, okay, this guy, I think he has what he. And then not only that, the reason why you was dating so much and you keep dating so much is because you already kept dating, so now you're picky. You was in an ice cream shop, you tasted all the flavors, and now you're just
Men
like,
too.
I don't. Yeah, we're not talking about men. I don't know what
Men
to
and
choose
women,
now.
both. I'm
You get
not
what saying?
gender. I'm
question,
not
though.
biased, and I'm
But-
not
but-
sexist.
But why
Hold
shouldn't
on,
we
hold on.
though? But why shouldn't we have the ability
It
to
goes
choose
the same
though?
way.
No, I'm not
That's what
saying
you're
not
saying.
have the
It's-
ability to choose.
because
I'm
you're
saying
kinda
have
saying,
the
though-
ability to have discernment, make better choices. But
Men too.
let's go around the panel.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Can I
hold
speak?
that question. Hold the
Can I
question.
speak?
We're going to go around the panel. Yeah, we got the same question.
I thought it
One
was
mic
like
at a time.
this because you put me first.
No. She's next.
Oh, I gotta be last, right?
Well, I mean, I'm the host, so you do what I say. So look, June, same
Heard
question
you.
for you.
The fact.
Have you ever been in a relationship and had a backup plan? Keep it no fugazi.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes, but it wasn't like a set up backup plan. Like it was just like somebody would come along that would make me realize who I was with actually wasn't it at all, and we would just move on to the next.
Yeah.
Because who's wasting time here?
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Exactly.
young, but
Keeping it
seriously,
real.
who's
All right,
wasting
no worries.
time?
Just a question.
You feel me? Because I feel like as women, we should very much stand for what we want in somebody as much as men do. But men are more likely. This is what I was gonna say before. Men are more likely to be disloyal. Women are more so nurturing. I feel like it's easier to find actually that's debatable, but in my opinion, it's easier to find a loyal woman than it is to find a loyal man. And the reason is because women are so picky. I wouldn't say it's a good thing for women to do rotational dating because men are more likely to cheat. We as women, even though this sounds so stupid, we just have to let a man do what a man wants to do. And he's going to prove to us whether or not he's the one or not. You cannot stop a man from cheating and being a fucking man. That's just, excuse my language, that's just who men are.
That part is true.
I feel like that goes for anybody.
So I feel like it's not a good response for us to try to be like a man back, because we can't beat y'all at what y'all do. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, don't bring me out of my retired player stage. I could show a man what's up as well, but that's not my ultimate reaction the way that it is for most men. That's why it's easier to find a loyal woman than it is a loyal man.
You're killing me with this
It's okay
shit.
if I add to that real quick.
Can I feel like it goes both ways.
I can't wait.
That loyalty, that respect and all that shit, it's not more likely for a man or a woman to be that way. It's like I said from the beginning, character. Like
that's why I said it was debatable.
I feel like it's such a fucking like gender war nowadays that people don't realize we're all human at the end of the day.
I think men underestimate women
we
having
all
options.
go through different experiences. We all have similar, different emotional experiences, mindsets, and stuff like that.
So let me ask you a question, since you ladies want to speak about this. It sounds like you have a question on
Why
this.
you think toxic men are attracted to women who are gullible and stuff like that, and not gullible, but in their terms, their way of thinking logically.
I get what she's trying to say.
Like more affectional, more like.
They say men want a good dummy,
like
not a
more
good
understanding and stuff, and they'll let shit slide. And then it's vice versa too at the same time. So it's not man or female. I don't believe in man or female. We're humane. You're gonna do what the fuck you think is right.
Do you think men and women are the same?
Not 100%.
Okay, so
but
then it's male and female.
Spiritually, like it's right or wrong. Personality, everybody's different.
Yeah,
male, female, it don't matter what the hell you are.
Yeah,
we're all
you doing
different.
just talking in circles. Let's go to you.
I'm talking in circles.
All right, I call next because y'all got me fucked up.
I got you fucked up.
No, not you. Not you.
I want to say something too. No.
Sure.
Well, anyway, I was saying. So when I talk about like rotational dating, and it's not for me. It's not about being a man back necessarily. It's more about it's not about. Because that almost implies revenge or being spiteful to men. It's not about that at all. Like I said, for me, it's just purely not, putting all my eggs in one basket. Not getting so invested.
But the
so soon into
reason
the
why you're 30 and single is because you didn't put all your eggs in one basket.
No, that's a man.
No, that was
I made it the same way.
No. Actually,
because the man will put it
chill.
Listen. And there.
What's your name again? Dalia?
Nothing. Dalia.
Dalia. So Dalia, one thing, right?
Yeah,
so, you keep interrupting and you keep saying
I'm not interrupting. I'm speaking just as much as everybody else
right?
is.
You say it's the same for the men, right? I want you to understand that men and women are extremely different. Our experience.
I would say different, but not extremely.
No,
okay,
we are.
Because
when it
there's
comes
single
to dating,
men
listen,
that have
you gotta
the same.
Listen, you gotta listen
because I know this. All of this.
Here to listen, just not don't listen to reply, right? So
I know
men and
so
women
many
are different,
Mm-hmm.
and our experiences in dating are extremely different. Mm-hmm. So what a woman goes through and experiences in dating is not the same that what a man experiences in dating. It's extremely different.
The mentality is kind of the same.
Everything is different.
But the perception of things is probably a little bit different.
So you could finish what you were saying.
Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. It's funny because you say I'm 30 and single because I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. Actually, that's the opposite. I'm 30 and single because I put all my eggs all in one basket with the wrong men. So the discernment, yes, I agree. Yes, I did lack discernment in my younger years. And it took me a long time to know what I want in a man and who I am as a person. So the discernment part, I do agree with you on that.
Okay.
Now, however, I'm going into this knowing what I'm looking for in a man. And unfortunately, part of the reason I'm 30 and single is actually because what I'm looking for in a man and how the world is progressing is actually relatively different. And then being caught in between two different cultures, meaning, growing up as a Syrian girl, but at the same time, having been Americanized, that does make it a little bit more difficult because I do have some old school values that I stick to, but then there's some that are, that I kind of want to modernize also in a relationship too. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I don't, because what are the things that you want to modernize in a relationship?
So here's the thing, Okay, so again, I do still have some old school values. So like I do believe in a man being a strong provider and a leader.
And what do you believe in the woman should do that's modern?
So when I in a relationship, modern? You mean modern?
Yeah.
Okay. So the woman being basically what I feel like comes sometimes with the territory of a man being the leader is that he can be controlling. And again, this is like just certain cultures. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of where the modern in me comes in. And when I say I don't want to be controlled, I don't mean like, oh, I'm just going to do whatever I want till 3 a.m. or whatever. Because with the right man, I'm very submissive. What I basically mean is like, you know, for example, if I want to go back to school.
Are you religious?
When I go back to school.
You are religious.
I don't, yeah. But
are you a virgin?
Huh?
Are you a virgin?
I didn't, huh? Right, you can't,
are you a virgin?
That's a very personal question.
That you're religious.
I am.
Okay, are you a virgin?
Are you?
Are you a virgin? Yes or no?
But are you?
I have.
What?
Yeah, he has kids.
I don't have to answer that.
Okay, you're not a virgin, right?
I don't have to.
We all
I
know
could
that
be
you're
and
not
I
a
could
virgin.
not be.
You were out here in the ice cream shop dating all different types of flavors and types of
No. I understand what she was trying to say.
It's not the same thing.
She wasn't saying she was sleeping.
I'm not saying that you were even sleeping with
Just
them, but the
keeping
fact
options
that
open.
you're
said I was in the ice cream,
dating.
but you know, equating it to you saying I'm not a virgin, but you're then saying I was in the ice cream shop trying all these different flavors.
No.
You basically
I
equating that I was.
if you were a virgin
implying.
because you said that you are Syrian, right?
Yes.
And then you're saying all these things, and I'm just asking you questions. You said that you're Syrian. You said that you're religious, right? You said that you have certain traits in you that's not modern. You know, that's old. You know, that is modern. That's old school. Like you're not a modern day woman, right? And I'm asking you, what are those traits? Right?
Yeah, and then you asked me if I was a virgin.
And then I asked you, were you a virgin?
You went right to that.
Because you were talking about how you want a man to be strong and masculine. What do you bring to that strong and masculine man?
So I just said that, like, if I'm with the right man, my femininity flourishes, meaning my nurturing, my caring side.
So you've never been with the right man?
Well, obviously, if I'm 30 and single, like you said, clearly not.
I don't feel like everybody. I don't feel like the right term is the right man or right woman, because everybody was. There'll be somebody that dealt with the same person you dealt with, and they'll be like, "Well, I disagree because they did everything right in my eyes." The next person be like, "Nah, like he a fuck nigga or she a fuck ass bitch and she a da 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 da." But it's just like, but how did you treat me? I don't expect nobody to say I'm a great woman. I don't expect nobody to say I'm a fucked up ass woman or none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna treat you how you treat me, or I'm gonna remove myself right out the picture. Like,
you get it? So there is someone that is right for someone. You get what I'm saying? So that is true. What you just said was a whole bunch of yip yash. But cool.
Ain't no yash.
Her point is that she doesn't touch on
You haven't even let her speak the whole night.
And then I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna ask
I've
you
been
the question
super patient.
too.
It's my turn to yip yash. I just want to touch on a couple things,
Sure.
and maybe my definition of rotational dating and stuff is a little bit different. My thing is, we're all adults here. It's all about full disclosure. If you're dating somebody, it makes absolutely no sense to go on like 1 or 2 dates with somebody and be like, okay, that's it. We're official. I'm not seeing nobody else, but disclose with somebody. Okay, I'm seeing other people. Are you seeing other people? And then you can decide, when it's going to be exclusive, when you can move to the next level. But rotational dating to me does not sound like rotational dicks. You're not sitting here touching or any of that. You're strictly getting to know somebody, seeing if you're even up. I thought he was going to talk. Just making sure.
I don't know how many bodies we all have at the end of the day.
But,
I'm letting you land your plane. Do your thing.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Because we're going to be flying this one for a while.
The real tourist.
She was thinking about it for a while.
Yeah, no, I've been holding this in for a minute. But, especially because as adults, like, you can flat out say, hey, look, I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm looking for something casual. Or you can flat out say, hey, look, I'm just trying to fuck. And guarantee you there's going to be another adult looking for the same exact thing. So my thing is, just be honest. Say dead ass exactly what it is you are looking for. I guarantee you there are several people out there looking for the same exact thing. So my thing is just full disclosure. Just don't be nasty with it. Don't be touching a bunch of different people, because don't nobody want to.
Right.
We're not doing all that. And then when it
But we're all recycled too at the end of the day. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you done?
Nah.
Okay,
we
let her
flying.
go.
I'm just trying to. What was the other shit that we were saying?
Wait,
too?
well, he said how he was saying that
the eggs in
she
the
didn't
basket,
put
and that's why we old and single. Okay, yeah. Let me touch on that too, because
meaning to settle down with
Men and
somebody,
female.
basically.
at the end of the day, we ain't shit. Like, we live and we learn. That's how we grow. You know, we have to make mistakes. We're human. But yeah, so I'm 32. That is not because, you know, I can't get a man. Like, literally, like, it is not hard to be in a relationship. Like, you have to be a really, really repulsive person to not be able to find somebody, right? It's it's about quality. It's about compatibility. Literally, all you got to do is answer a DM. All you got to do is walk around Lowe's looking confused, and I can pull somebody's dad. Like, it is not difficult.
Yeah, but
so,
that's the thing. It's
but that's
very
what I mean.
easy and simple
You have-
for a woman
Well,
to
that's what
obtain
she's saying, though.
I ain't done yet, though.
I'm speaking, I'll let you rock. So it's very simple and easy for women to obtain a man.
And it's very easy
That's
for a man to get pussy, too.
One mic at a time. Listen, how many times I gotta tell you? It's very simple for a woman to obtain a man, right? It's easy. We just went over the whole thing, how guys are just the, OnlyFans, the, porn sites. Men are just sexual
we know that.
creatures,
It's
right?
easy. It's
Yes.
not difficult.
So obtaining a man isn't the thing. It's about retaining the man after you had sex with him, right?
It's
so
not
then,
even-
So then it's, well, that's the thing.
That's
So-
the next one of the next steps.
No,
it's
that's
about
the only thing. So
it's
let
about
me,
getting
let me,
somebody
let
of
me,
It's not just
quality.
one step. It's
no,
1, 2,
wrong.
and 3.
All of you ladies are 100% wrong. Here's
No,
what it
we're
is.
right, too.
Here's what it is.
Well,
listen,
but nobody's ever really right.
I ain't even done yet. You, like, Kanye
one
mic'd
mic at a
my-
time.
Nobody's
One mic at a
really
time.
right.
When I'm speaking, I'm the host. I invited you ladies here.
All right,
When
I
I'm
appreciate
speaking,
it.
let me rock.
Okay.
So this is what I'm saying. All of you ladies are incorrect, right? You don't have any discernment. You're 30, you're 32, and you don't have any real relationship. And you too. What, you're 27? 26?
I choose to be single though.
Okay.
you
exactly. No. Listen to what I'm saying. You can obtain a man.
zaddy, like,
You can obtain a
God, I'm
man.
not
A
single.
lot of dudes will be in your DMs. A lot of dudes will be in your DMs and yours, and they'll be flirting with you. They'll want to take you out on a date, right? We know these things. But it's not about who you can obtain. That's the easy task. It's who you can retain. And it's not even about the retain. It's about retain a man of value, a guy that you genuinely love, respect, and admire. You can retain a simp. You can retain one of these dudes that's in your inbox just, oh, baby, please, let me take you out. Oh, baby, please. One date, oh, baby,
that
please.
theory was
so, no, listen, that's what I'm saying. So if you had some discernment and better decision making, you would be able to not only obtain a man, but retain a man after you smash him, but retain a man of value, a person that you truly, genuinely love, admire, and respect. But the fact is that you're just out here dating promiscuously and speed dating like she is.
Nah,
Tasting
first of
all
all,
the flavors in the
can I say
rainbow.
something else?
Tasting all the flavors in the
Ain't
rainbow.
nobody
You
speed
can't
dating.
have-
I haven't.
you can't
Speed
have-
dating. I haven't.
logical shit.
Nah,
We're
nah,
logical
nah. Let me
shit.
clarify
Shit,
some
not
shit real
biased.
quick.
Let her go.
I haven't
I can
rotationally
never
dated
go.
nothing.
Like,
When I
why?
say I have been single for X amount of time, that means I haven't talked to nobody. I haven't done nothing. So let's not sit here and talk about my decision-making skills, because the only decision that I made was to sit here and do some shit for myself. I started my own business. I went and
men?
graduated top of my class, got 2 bachelor's
What
degrees.
does own myself? What does listen? What does own
Now, you listen,
myself
you-
and all of these words have to do within a relationship? A relationship
me
is
out.
2. It takes 2 to
Because
tango.
you cannot
So
be
you're
in a
speaking
successful
about yourself.
relationship until you are a successful individual first. I'm not going to
Exactly.
What
sit
makes
here.
a woman successful?
Oh, well,
I was just
in
getting
the
to
eyes
that
of the
before you
man,
cut
a
me
man
off.
doesn't care about your career.
What a man cares about. I care about my
You
career.
just said that you don't care about what you just said. Listen. Cut all of this out. See, this is what I'm talking about.
No, I
you
agree.
speaking something and you saying that, oh, it's my career. Oh, it's this and this. Men don't care about your career. We don't prioritize.
But
We don't prioritize how much money a woman makes. We
But
don't
can I
care
say
about
something?
that. You get what I'm saying? So the facts is that
Let me finish.
you're prioritizing building up the wrong traits in yourself. What you should be prioritizing is having more discernment, reading the Bible, going to church,
Fuck the
spending more
Bible.
time with your
Bible is read
grandmother.
by
You're other human beings. I'm sorry, I don't knock nobody from their
What?
the
Yo,
beliefs and
Karen back on
religions.
me. She wildin'. Listen,
What
Gary.
the fuck?
That's my thing, though.
Can we not talk about
That's where you
religion?
have
Put
it
it on
funny.
me. We don't talk about
Everybody's
anything.
going
We're
to
all
have their
religion.
own individual
Me, like,
interests
come
and
on now.
values.
You
What
never
is
let me
important to
speak.
me
The
does
fuck?
not have to be important to another
think that-
individual.
That's
It was
why you don't let me
important to
speak.
me
Up for you,
to be
cuz.
happy as an individual.
Yo,
I
the
don't
sunglasses
want to
on.
rely
Time
on
out,
somebody
time out.
else
I
for
got you.
peace or
'Cause I need
happiness.
to-
I
I
like
need
being
to
happy as an
bring it in.
individual.
I need to bring it in.
Yeah, let's
Listen, ladies,
reset,
right?
Reset real quick.
If she's speaking or anyone is speaking when you make a point and you saying something,
It draws the attention the other way.
No, it doesn't draw no attention on you. The audience can't hear anything. They're literally in the comments like, yo, shut up. They're telling you to shut up.
I get it.
So when someone's speaking, let them speak. When they have a little pause,
I really do respect you, and I'm gonna listen to what you're saying.
I got
so I apologize.
And you still cut me off. When they have a little pause, then ask, okay? Or I'm the host. Wait till your turn. I will get to you. You're next, actually. But finish making your point.
All right.
Okay, so my point being is I'm sitting here concentrating on what makes me happy because I'm not thinking about a potential man that doesn't even exist yet because I haven't decided who I want to be with. So I don't give a fuck what he may or may not like for me because I'm going to be happy as an individual first. So I got 2 bachelor's degrees. I got a certificate. I'm in graduate school, graduated top of my class. I started 2 businesses of my own. I got $100,000 in the bank. I'm a mother of an 11-year-old who started her own business. I pay for all my own bills. I have my own place. I have been on my own for a very long time. I have a lot of shit going for myself that makes me happy. I'm all about personal growth and development. I don't need to rely on another person to pay my bills, to make me happy, to bring me peace. I do all that shit for myself. So when I find somebody who is compatible, who meets my standards, who makes me happy, that is supplemental to the happiness that I already provide myself.
You did say you want a serious relationship, right, with a man?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay, so if you want a serious relationship with a man, right? So like I was saying, let me give you ladies some advice, some game. Well, one, women hold the key to sex, right? So since women hold the key to sex, women grant access to sex. So in the beginning stages of talking and courting a man, yo, the little side comments. Yo,
No, I'm not saying for you. I'm just saying.
know, but when I'm listen.
Right, I'm sorry.
When I'm speaking, you literally have to be quiet, right?
Right.
So as I was saying, women grant access to sex, right? So since you grant access to sex, you hold that key. So, yeah, you could have sex with a guy. That's great. You could get a guy and have sex with him. But men, we grant access to a relationship, right? So since you grant access to sex, you hold that key. I'm gonna do an example real quick. We're gonna do an exercise. You hold the key to sex, right? That's your key. We're gonna actually do it with water. Grab your bottle of water. Hold it up. That's your key, right? And my key is relationship, right? So now I'm a guy and I'm speaking to you. And I'm like, I slide in your DMs and it's a dream world. You happen to be attracted to me. I'm your type. White, black, Asian, whatever your type is, right? I hop in your DM and I'm like, hey, you're a beautiful girl. I'd really like to take you out sometime. You reply, you say, hey, right? So it's incumbent upon me to put my best, because you hold the key, you hold the access, you grant the access to sex, and I want sex, right? So that means that I have to put my best foot forward first and acquiesce my behaviors in order to show you a good experience to have sex. Do you agree?
To an extent, yeah.
Okay, so that means I got to take you out on good dates. I got to speak to you properly. I have to, if chivalry wasn't dead, maybe open up a door or two. Maybe bring you some flowers, whatever you like. So I would have to show you a good experience in order to have sex. Now, let's say we have sex. Put your bottle up, your key, right? It's the time, and say you grant access to it. Say I do everything you want in a man. Would you grant access to sex?
Just
and I'm
for
your
that?
type. No. The point is that I'm your type, and I'm courting you, and you like me, and I like you, right? And it's a vibe, and it's the moment. Maybe it's been a week, maybe it's been several months, but you feel the vibe. In order for me to get sex, what would you have to do? You would have to give me access to it, right? Because I can't take it. That's grape. Right?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay, cool. So let's say that then now you finally grant access to sex. Put your key up in the air, right? Cool. I just did everything you wanted me to do, and that's how I was able to obtain sex, right? Now, guess what? I have the key to the relationship. right? Now think about it. For me to do those things, to be able to get sex, I had to understand you. I had to know what your likes and dislikes are. I had to know what your triggering points are. I had to know what, the talk to you in a certain way to make you feel that vibe. I had to create that chemistry there with you. You know what I mean? I had to do that over a period of time. Make sense? So I had to truly know you in order to get sex, correct? Generally speaking, as a man, right?
Not really, sir. I'm sure that gets you a lot of coochie.
No. I'm speaking, generally speaking, a man has to do that to get sex. He has to acquiesce his behaviors so the female can feel the vibe and actually be interested in him to get sex. Is that correct or no?
To an extent.
Okay, to an extent, right? So here's the key now. I have the key to a relationship. Now, let's say you're doing all the things after we had sex now, right? And you want a relationship with me. So now I'm looking for certain things in you to do to get this relationship. And all this gibberish that you're talking about, like, oh, me, own, I make 100K, I have my business, I have this, I went to school for that. That's all pish posh to a man because we don't care about that. We don't care about any of that. I want to know, are you nurturing? Are you caring? Are you going to be my cheerleader? Are you going to cook? Are you going to clean?
That's my point exactly, though.
Good, kind spirit to when I'm battling the world and slaying dragons for you? Are you going to be a nice, comfortable, a hug for me, warm hug for when I get home? Are you going to be nurturing is what I'm saying.
That's my point,
No. That's my point. So all this other stuff that you're talking about, guess what? Men generally don't care about that. So if you're not actually working on the stuff that men want, you will never get access to the relationship key. That's why you're 32 and you're single.
And that's why you will not get access to this key because you act like I cannot do both of those simultaneously. I cannot be myself as an individual and also be nurturing to someone in a relationship. That makes zero sense whatsoever. So I basically have to completely abandon myself completely as an individual person and be a, geisha girl to you, and that's that.
It's gotta be.
You act like I cannot do both.
It's got to be on terms though, where those things that you're pleasing her with to get the key from her of sex, it's not going to be those like things you specifically mentioned. I feel like you should go into. You're doing exactly what she. It matters like what she specifically wants for herself as a woman. And then if you do those things, then she's going to give you the key. She's saying she's not going for the regular shit. That, you know what I mean, the holding the door, this, or whatever the case may be.
So y'all take everything as my turn.
But that's what I'm saying.
I was using that as an
illustration. It has to be like conversation.
I use that as an example. It's very simple. Women grant access to sex, so men have to acquiesce their behaviors to get sex. If they don't acquiesce their behaviors, they ain't getting no box. Say if I play video games and eat Cheetos all day and was living in my mom's basement, I would be a virgin. You know what I'm saying? So that means that we're not going to get sex. Men have to work on themselves, become a better version of themselves, make more money, make muscles, have a strong masculine frame, and bring value to the world.
Can I ask you a question?
Make muscles, fuck Cheetos, you can get the box. That is the motto.
I'm trying to say something.
No, I was saying based off how you said it has to be like nurturing and caring and stuff like that.
We gotta calm this down because there's too many conversations.
I just want to ask a simple conversation.
Hold it. We rocking. Hold it. So I don't know how you don't understand that.
No, I think you don't understand me. I agree with what you're saying. You absolutely need a cheerleader, somebody who's going to support you, but you act like somebody cannot be an individual and also be those things. My point is yes, I do all of these things for myself, and when I am with a partner, I like somebody that I can build with. I like somebody that I can be a team and partner up with. I like somebody who has their own drive. They bring their own shit to the table.
Men doesn't want somebody
and so to sit here and have somebody say, oh, well, we don't care about that. Okay. That's exactly why that type of person is not for me. I
like, damn, I'm a female and I could
care
do it
about
like
my dreams and aspirations. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to care about yours. I'm going to support you, and you could come to me with like the most wildest shit. If it's something that you're passionate about, I'm going to support you. I'm going to cheerlead for you. I'm going to sit here and be there for you. Yeah. But for you to not give me that same respect, especially when I've been doing it by myself without you, no.
Then you gotta
so it's very simple, right? Like the more money you make, the more it's very simple. The more a woman better herself. Oh, I'm going to be like a man. I'm going to get out there and accomplish things. Good for you. You got $100,000 in the bank
like
account.
A man.
You got $100,000 in the bank account. Good for you. You're making money. That's good. But guess what? Would you date a question for you? Would you date a guy?
I was like that when I was broke too.
Okay, but you worked on yourself, right?
I got that shit out the mud. It's a confidence thing. It's a self-worth thing.
All right, quick note. Everybody sit back real quick. Everybody sit back and relax.
I can't.
Sit back, relax.
That's my persona.
One, none of you ladies are listening to understand. You're just yip-yapping back.
No, I'm listening.
Okay, no.
A man doesn't want to.
I agree with both of y'all. I really 100% agree with both of y'all.
You're speaking right now. Let me finish, right?
She is too. Everybody is.
Listen, ladies. Little game, right? So we live right now, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all looking bad. Right?
No.
We was talking before. Well, how do I do things to not look bad? To not look bad on this podcast, you got to listen to understand, and not listen to respond. You still speaking right now. You still speaking. Please. It's very masculine energy. How you always interrupt and cut me off. That's extremely masculine.
Cameras back and forth so they know who I'm speaking to. It's not trying to dominate you, but I had this conversation a lot of times.
I wasn't finished. So listen.
I know.
At the end of the day, because we're here on the podcast, I'm going to give you a little advice because we're going to rock out for maybe another hour longer, right?
I know that's right.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, when I'm speaking or another individual is speaking, actually listen to what they're saying instead of just replying. Let's stick on topic. Because if we're on a topic, but then you move the goalpost and you're talking about something else, then I got to bring it back in. Right? It's all off topic. It's everywhere right now. So again, we're going to finish our conversation. And then we're going to let you answer the last question, and then we're going to get on to the next question.
But you don't let me.
I'm going to ask one more question. I'm going to just let you ladies know. I'm going to ask two more questions. And then after that, I'm going to leave it for you ladies to ask questions on the podcast. Y'all going to get your time to ask questions.
Quick, though?
No. So, to you, right? Quick thing. So you were pretty much explaining that, yes, you worked on yourself and became the woman that you are. Kudos to you. I'm happy that you're a therapist in the making and you saved up enough money to not worry about the financial stresses. That's good. As a human to human, good for you. But as far as in a relationship, so here's a question I have for you, right? So you worked on yourself and you earn, well, obviously you said you have $100,000 in a bank account. So how approximately did you earn $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year? What's your earnings per year?
My earnings per year is about 70 right now. That's 70, something that accumulated over time.
Oh, it accumulated over time. Okay, so you earn...
And being invested in the market.
And being invested in the market. Okay, cool. So you make $70,000 a year. Would you date a guy that made $40,000 a year in a serious relationship?
I have dated men who make less.
You have, right?
And yes, I currently would also date somebody.
So you're okay with dating down?
It's not about dating down.
No, that is you're dating someone that has less finances than you, right? And he's a man. So that's dating down. So let me ask you the question again. Are you okay with dating down?
Let me answer the question again. Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's all I wanted to know. So if you're okay with dating down, then all right, well, that proves my point even further that if financials wasn't the part, if you're not looking for a guy to have, make $100,000 a year or more, because only 20% of the population, men, women, and gays, transgenders, and everyone makes 100. Only 20% of the population makes $100,000 a year, right?
No, like I said, it's about building.
Since you're not looking for the financial part, then that means that you have even a more chance of finding a man, and you still can't find a man and you're 32.
It's not about finding a man. I can find a man. I could literally have
retain the man.
If I wanted. No, I could retain it. I broke up with them. It's not about retaining. It's about
exactly
not
like I
who
said
wanted.
before. You're not retaining a man of value. You're retaining lower value men.
Okay, can I clarify for a moment? When you have self-worth and you have boundaries and you have standards and you have an idea of what it is that you're looking for, naturally the pool of potential partners is going to get smaller. That is a good thing. You don't want to sit here and be available for everybody. That's a good thing. Everybody should have that. But then also when you're sitting here and you're busy and you have projects and you have goals and you have dreams and aspirations, even if your potential hypothetical man tells you that they're not going to give a shit about that, your time and your energy is valuable. So if I'm going to sit here and give that up for somebody, I'm not going to give that up for anybody. So no, I'm not sitting here rushing into a relationship. I don't need to be in a partnership. That's called codependency. I'm perfectly happy being single. I enjoy my life a lot. So why am I going to sit here and rush into something just to say that I have a man?
You said that you wanted the relationship, a serious, true relationship with a man, and you don't have one yet. So my point is
I didn't say I wanted that right this
obviously
second.
you lack discernment in choosing men.
No.
That is 100% right, because you said that the guys you chosen, you were the one that broke up with them. Obviously, if you chose a man of value, a man that you truly love or admire and respect, you wouldn't be breaking up with him.
That makes zero sense. That means everybody would be with the first person that they dated. Literally, you live and you learn. That's how you grow as a person and evolve.
Obviously, you don't even have the ability to attract the men of value, because if you was attracting the men of value, then you would have been doing your thing to retain that man of value. But you didn't even want to retain those men of value, so you broke up with them.
I'm literally
which proves
not.
my point that they were low value men. You're proving my point the more you speak.
You're not making a point, though.
No, you're literally proving my point.
No.
You spoke. You said that, please chill.
If someone hasn't been dating, they obviously would not have a man. I haven't been dating. So for me to sit here and just pick some random person and be like, hey, you're going to be my boyfriend, makes absolutely no sense. Just to say that I have somebody when I have purposely not been dating because I do not have the time. Like, I have purposely been doing my own thing.
Fair enough, I guess. He'll be 40 and single. Moving right along. You
perfectly fine with me. I'd rather be 40 and single and 40 and codependent and happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you the question. So here's the question.
Can I ask you something like one split second question?
Sure. Go.
Can I answer the conversations y'all was having or no?
Sure. What point would you like to answer?
So
put in?
It's not about like what none of y'all are saying. I feel like it's an equal thing.
You still think men and women are equal?
No,
Here we go
it's no. It's not like I feel like women are equally strong as men, or
we're not
I feel
talking
like
about strength.
No, but I'm saying like in general, like how men or females think to their logic. For me, but I feel like it all comes down to like your experience and how you know how to handle certain things. At the end of the day, there may be a female that you come across or another female that they can't handle what you can handle. Male on male, same thing. Male, female, female, male, like it don't even matter. So anyways, next question. No, you know what I'm talking about.
All right, so
but
let me ask you the question, because I don't know what you were saying. But
of course you don't.
Question for you, right? You're the last one, then we gotta get on to the next question. So in a relationship, have you ever had a backup plan? Keep it no Fugazee.
I could kind of agree with her when it comes to.
She said she ain't have a backup.
No,
plan.
listen, she distinguished the differences between a backup and a side motherfucker.
No.
So
she said she had an escape plan.
No. What I'm trying to say is, it's a difference, because I know what you're trying to get at. I'm not no dumb bitch, okay? So. It's like, all right, I know I know we have some type of bond with each other, and this is what it is, and this is what it is, but I'm really giving my all to something, but I feel like this has no type of potential into making things further and what we have going on.
Answer the question.
You know what?
Yes or no?
You know what? I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
It's a backup plan. Yeah,
it's all I want
definitely.
to know.
And I feel like that becomes is male and female. Like a man has a backup plan, a female has a backup plan, but it's not. No. But it's not cheating. Like I'm faithful as fuck.
You talking about a backup plan isn't cheating?
No. Listen to me though.
Yes, it is.
It is. But I'm faithful. But when it comes to listen to me. When it comes to things that you do towards the end of the relationship, and you're doing all these different things that's making me feel a type of way, it's disrespecting me. I don't like that. You touch somebody, you mesh somebody a certain type of way. You single or like that's cheating. That's cheating. You're on your way to cheating. You're on your way to putting your dick into somebody. Okay. So don't be mad when I do the same thing. Because that's showing me you was never real to begin with. So you want to be like a man just like her? No, I don't want to be a man.
You want to have man behavior and be promiscuous and sleep around? You think God and your ancestors would like that?
I want to. No.
I want to be a man because I make money.
Fucking pants. I want to wear my panties gratefully. I want to hold my panties. I don't want to deal with paying my own rent. I pay my own rent. You feel me? Like I pay my own rent. I raise my children. My children are doing great in school. A, B+ students, like they're good, like they're respectful.
I'll feel you, Dalia,
you feel
right?
me? Like
Dalia?
No, not Dalia.
What
Nigga,
is
get it right, Dalia.
All right, put Dalia on it. Okay, Dalia.
You want to come here and speaking facts? Like I don't like that.
Nah.
I don't like that for you. I'm sorry.
You was just speaking gibberish. But
It's
anyways,
not gibberish. You asked a specific question, right?
I mean,
You mentioned something?
answered it, so I'll give you that. You said that you got a backup plan. So next question
Yeah,
on the
like
podcast.
I'm honest.
Next question, right?
But men do too. Don't get it twisted, girls.
We-
like
Ain't no girls watching this.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I did.
It's
We all
much
did.
harder for a man to have a backup plan than it is for a woman to have a backup plan. So, as you can all see, fellas,
We nigga bitches,
that's watching
like,
this
what?
podcast right now, all the subscribers,
Yeah,
how
we
many
are
we
though,
got right
like,
now? Hey,
that's
one
why-
mic at a time when I'm speaking?
No,
One
I'm
mic
giving you a compliment. We
Okay,
all nigga,
okay.
like we all female, we all female males. Like that's why we here because we all feel the same way, but we're different sexes.
Oh, okay.
You
What?
feel me?
336 what?
336 live
336?
viewers.
Oh, we on 336 live, man. Thank you
What?
for tuning in. Super chats,
That's
though.
good or bad? I
Send in
don't
the
get
super
it.
chats. We live right now. She over here wilding, talking about she want to be promiscuous and talking about all this other stuff.
me?
I'm about to kill all of them right
Me
now.
or her?
So we about to get lit. We about to turn up. We about to get active.
It's called no Fugazee, and he capping like a motherfucker.
Shut up, gay.
336 right now.
What?
All right, so listen.
I could be,
At
but
the
I'm
end of the
not.
day, at the end of the day, ladies, thank you for giving your inputs. But for the men that's viewing this
You a
podcast,
bartender tonight.
for the men that's viewing this podcast, all the ladies said that they have a backup plan. She said she has an escape plan.
That was 10
may
years ago.
I mean, you've had it before in the past, right?
We all did.
So,
Sorry.
focus on yourself, fellas. They got backup plans, bruh. At
Men
the
be
end
have
of the day,
backup
you see that woman always, if you're not out there being the best version of yourself, working on yourself and building up your masculine frame and building up your value as a man, it's going to be a higher probability that she's not going to really look at you like that. And she's going to have one foot out the door. So,
Ain't nobody
and you
say that.
Keep talking about men too.
No, because you're trying to downplay women. I don't like that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
literally, like, nobody
I
said
don't
any of that.
I don't
Let me-
agree with
let me
women,
ask
and I
you a
don't agree with
question.
niggas either.
Like
I'm a realist.
the whole promiscuous.
It all have to do
Gary,
with
you good?
you as a person, your
Okay.
character. It's not women or male. I don't believe in genders.
Yeah.
Like
So
besides transgenders,
off of all of that.
that
Off
shit
of
is
all
weird.
that.
I'm sorry.
Chill out.
That shit weird. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
what you put in her cup, Gary?
He put in my cup a whole fucking mix of Virgo. That's it.
What's
like
in
we
her
talking
cup,
about?
bruh?
Why you asking him? I'm my own shit.
All right, you made that? What you put in there? Henny mixed with...
No, I just put
You mixed dark and white? Dark and...
No,
white?
I just put Bacardi and ice.
All right, last drink for her.
What the fuck?
Bacardi B.
Because I'm speaking
So,
facts.
let's get
I
on to
didn't
the next
disagree
question.
with you at all.
Let's get on to the next question.
What the hell?
Starting with... Hold up. We didn't start with June. Start with June.
Okay.
Did we start with June? No, we
No,
didn't start
they-
with
she
June. We
started with me
June.
No, I had to finish my.
I don't remember. Yeah.
My thing.
Yeah. So we
The
gonna start...
backup plan question started with M,
Yeah. I think so.
I can.
It did. Yeah, it started with me
and
then
it
her.
went, and it
All
went,
right.
and it went this way
I see
because she
what
just did her answer last.
Yeah. Let's start with you, actually. So with
Okay.
you, is it easier to get a man to commit, or is it easier to get a woman to submit?
That's actually a good question because I feel like in today's society, I feel like, damn, that's a good question actually.
Yeah.
That is
What
a
do
good
you
one.
think?
Kind of threw me off there because I do feel like it's really because, and I don't want to. I need to answer this without
Feelings.
no, not without feelings, but without anyone thinking that I'm putting the blame on men.
Well, answer it truthfully. Don't worry about
Okay.
someone's feelings. This podcast called No Fugazee for a reason.
Okay.
Say it with your
So
chest.
I do feel like with the way that the world is and of times men not wanting to commit, it's harder to get a woman to submit. Because women don't want to submit to the wrong man.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel about that.
Okay, so you think that is harder to get a woman to submit than it is to get a man to commit? Okay,
I feel like it works both ways though. Like it's different situations.
But
do you know what I
generally
mean? Like I
speaking,
feel like
which-
both genders have experienced
yeah, but
that
generally speaking, what would you choose getting a woman to submit?
because of men not wanting to commit.
Because of men not wanting to.
Yeah,
commit.
because again, a woman's
So
just
you
not going to
think that
naturally submit herself
you-
to a man that's not showing any signs of commitment.
So you think that a woman has to, you think that the man has to commit to the woman first?
Show
before
signs
she
of
submits?
commitment. Show effort that he is going to commit, is what I'm saying.
Wouldn't you think, since the man holds the key to commitment, that in order for her to get that commitment, she would have to submit?
Not submit immediately. Maybe, again, he has to show signs of commitment. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. She does have to show signs that she is willing to submit. But again, you're talking about not the willingness, but actually the act of submitting and the act of committing, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Again,
it's all the same if
Okay.
it's commitment and it's submittance. So,
well, again,
but
one
I get
doesn't
what
really
you're
work
saying.
without the other.
Well, I mean,
In my personal
there's a
opinion,
lot
I mean,
of-
you're gonna think I'm wrong
there's
anyway.
a lot
So
of men
Right.
out here in relationships and are married to women that don't submit to them. So you
There
are
are.
100% wrong. That
there are, but again, we're talking about heterosexual relationships where one is in his masculine and one is in her feminine.
no,
correct?
no. Well,
Or you just talk about relationships in general.
well, yeah, heterosexual
Okay.
relationships. What are you
So I
talking
thought you
about?
were talking about
man
something
is
a little bit more
masculine and a-
specific. Where, because here's the thing, in other relationships where a woman's not submissive, that means the woman's in her masculine. We're not. So what you're saying doesn't really pertain to that scenario.
What are you
does
talking
it not?
about? More women. All of you
But
women that's been cutting me off is masculine. So what are you talking about? So today, in this modern day world, all of you ladies are masculine, right? You
No.
generally have masculine tendencies. So that means, forget the whole masculine and feminine part right now. We're just talking about in general about submittance and committing. So
No.
you
Well, I
chose
answered my question,
committing.
so-
No, I actually
Go ahead.
agree with what you said. So no, I do
Interesting.
agree. June.
What was the question?
Oh,
Sorry.
come on, June.
I'm sorry.
Come on, June.
There's so much being said. My mind is
It
boggling.
is, and we got to stay concise in the conversations too, ladies. Stick it on point.
That's
is
crazy
it-
because that's a feminine trait, but we masculine. Bitches talk too much.
Wait, what'd you say?
Females talk too much.
You said females talk too much?
Yes, that's a feminine trait.
No, it's not about talking too much.
You just told us to
ladies-
be concise.
No.
We're talking too much.
No, concise on the like if we concise on sticking on the topic, not going out of what we're actually
Concise
speaking
means
about.
keep it short. So we're talking too much. Bitches
No,
do that.
no.
So we're
No,
feminine.
you're using the word concise wrong. But anyways, on to June, right? So is it easier? Is it easier to, and generally speaking, right, just in this society, right, is it easier to get a man to commit or a woman to submit?
A woman to submit 100%.
And why?
Because men, most of the time, like I said before, they do what they want, and it's not in their nature to be loyal because of biology. Like, men love women, and I've literally been told to my face by men that I was with that it literally does not matter what you're doing for them, because most of the time to men, sex is just sex. So I'm not gonna take it too far, but I think that.
And can you just put the mic a little closer
Sorry.
to you too?
Because of men and biology and just how they are, it's definitely harder to get a man to commit rather than to get a woman to submit. I think women naturally want to submit. That's what we get into relationships for. That's what we love men for. They care for us as well. They protect us. That's the feeling that we like. And when you feel that's what makes you safe to feel like you can submit to them. But no matter whether you submit to a man or not, that does not mean that he is loyal to you. So it really doesn't matter what you do. Like,
Okay, cool.
Men
So
committing
you're-
is a big choice.
You
to
saying
them.
that men committing? Well, it's your turn. Where did you go?
Take a break.
You had to take a break. What was wrong? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I smoke, like, so.
Oh, you smoke weed?
Used to, not no more.
So what were you smoking?
That's like, I don't
Oh,
fuck.
okay.
Everybody know that. So,
Okay, cool. Are you okay? Are you good? Can you continue on?
I'm perfectly fine. What's the question you
Okay.
gotta ask me though?
So the question is, and thanks, Jim, for answering the question. Question is it easier to get a man to commit or easier to get a woman to submit?
I feel like it all depends on the person. I I really don't agree on it's easier for no both ways. Just it's like saying like, oh, is it easier to raise a child or is it easier for you to understand your parent? Like I feel like it's all different perspective and experience of things. At the end of the day, if you're truly committed to certain things and you have a certain type of experience with whatever it is.
So which one do you choose?
You're gonna,
is it easier to get a man to commit or a woman to submit? Which one?
It's not easier for neither ways.
But if you had to choose one, if the world was ending and the angel said choose one.
I feel like
besides what do you feel, let me help you out. Stop thinking about what you feel, right? Think about what do you think.
What do I think? Okay, so it's a balance. It's a balance.
Okay, so you won't choose one.
I feel like the world is based off of balance because there's men who think.
All right, let's move on. That means that you don't know. Let's go on.
What?
You can't choose one. So it's fine.
You want me to
make a
choose,
choice.
but there's no choosing with.
Well, there is a choice to be made. There's always a choice. Things are black and white. They're not gray. The gray is what you don't understand.
A man thinks straightforward. They'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and this is what it is. I'm gonna give you what you need, and I'm gonna protect. I'm gonna provide.
Yeah, that's not answering the question.
Yes, it is.
No, you're just talking about what a man and what a woman is. Very simple, but you can't answer it. That's totally fine.
Yes, I can. That's crazy. Like what?
I mean, I can't
you
really.
Said your name
That's
was, right?
crazy.
Yeah.
As hell.
Okay. M.
Like
so, yo. She's answering a question. Let her go.
Of course, I respect her shit, but
is it easier?
Okay,
well, if you're not respecting me, you could get off the podcast.
Ain't about getting off the podcast.
No. If you're not respecting me, you can see yourself out the door.
It's about conversation and understanding. If you're not respecting
me, you can see yourself out the door.
It's about just.
You just said you will respect her. If you're not respecting me, this is my building that you in.
I respect both of y'all, but it's just
so if you're not
understanding
get out of here. You out of here, yo. Gary, Light. She out. She done. Drinking too much. Yo, send her out. She out of here. Bye.
I'm out for listening and understanding.
Peace. She out of here. Yo, Light. Take her out, bro. Please make your way out.
Come on.
I said something? What the hell? I'm listening to both of y'all. Like,
yo, make your way out. Disrespectful.
No problem. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm actually understanding. I'm trying to understand what y'all both trying to have.
All right, well, you could understand out the door.
No problem.
I can say it in a minute.
You could, switch these. And I'll put the camera closer to you. I'll adjust the camera angle. Hey, subscribers, we had to let one go. But let me adjust her camera angle real quick. Yo, Gary, see her out. Make sure she got her purse, her phone, and everything like that. Yeah. Sit completely on that side.
Oh,
We do it live. We do it live, ladies and gents. We do it live. Yo, Light. Yo, we live right now, bro. Take that outside. Alright, you good. Let me address the camera angle.
Thank you.
Right quick. Good.
Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna sit back like this.
All right. But ladies and gentlemen, she had to go. She was not listening. She wasn't giving any coherent dialect back to anyone. She couldn't even answer a simple yes or no question. She had to go. I think that was the first time I kicked someone off the podcast. I had someone leave the podcast, so this was the first kick out. So now we could actually have a real conversation without all those interruptions. Ladies, tell me your thoughts on that, of what just happened. Starting with you.
I liked her. I just think that she seemed like just like defensive about her opinion, I guess. And I don't think she wanted it to be like she was saying to me like in my ears how she felt like it was like a gender war thing. So I just think that she wasn't trying to compare men and women, but that is the point. So I understand where you're coming from.
Okay. And you, Em?
I like her. I think it's a difficult question to answer, to be honest. I'm having trouble answering it myself, so I get it.
Cooley Castle. Yo, shout out to Fresh and Fit and them boys over there at their podcast. I see y'all in the comments talking about Cooley Castle. And what's your thoughts on what just happened and, her interrupting everyone 1,001 times? Give your true, honest opinion.
So, I mean, my first impression of her was that I liked her. I do feel that she is
being nice.
Very...
Go ahead.
Well, what do you want me to say? Come on. Okay, she is very strong-minded. To answer it diplomatically, I do feel that she could have, as far as answering the question, I mean, like what she said, it's a bit of a difficult one. Even you saw me, I was like, that's a good question. It kind of threw me off for a bit. But, I feel like at some point, though, you kind of just have to cut to the chase.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just a question. Like, I was letting her go. I moved her. Okay, you can't answer. Totally fine. Your turn, Em. And then she gets into, I respect her talking, but not you. That's very disrespectful to say on a podcast. You get what I'm saying? Then not only that, she interrupted me, but I can handle that. I could be like, yo, chill. But her interrupting you, think about it. You're making a point. She's interrupting. You making a point. Then I'm trying to have a conversation with you and you. She's interrupting. I'm talking to you. She's interrupting. So the conversation was going crazy. And the chat is like, yeah, like you should have kicked her out. But anyways, let's move on to the next question, right? Actually, no, I'll make a point real quick. So who chose that it's easier for actually, we didn't get around to you yet. Let's go with you. You said that it's a hard question to answer.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, so the question is it easier to get a man to commit or is it easier to get a woman to submit?
So in all honesty, I am having trouble answering the question just because I feel like it does depend on the person and it's hard to group an entire, gender together. And so my thing is like, you can have a man who, completely is loyal and commits to a woman who absolutely refuses to submit and vice versa. And you can have a woman who, submits and, have a man who just is not willing to commit. But I believe the two go hand in hand. So but it's hard to say what comes first. I feel like both people need to be willing to do that for each other in order for it to work.
Okay. You said I could maybe help you answer the question. There's only, I think, one person that I agreed with. You said it was easier for the woman, for the man to commit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said it was easier for the man to commit, harder for the woman to submit. Mm-hmm. I agree with your answer the most. The reason why, well, first let's go back to you, right? So you were saying that it goes hand in hand and, one comes first, but you would agree that submittance comes first.
I guess let me explain just from my perspective. Obviously, I can't speak for other women. Me personally, I have no problem submitting. I like cooking and cleaning. Obviously, those are things I do as a fully functioning adult for myself. I like doing, I like caring for somebody that I care about. Those are things I have no problem doing for a man. I don't feel like that invalidates me or that oppresses me. I get it. So, but the question is but I will not do that for a man who is not committed to me.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So my question is, do you agree that submittance comes first? Yes or no?
I would say, yeah, I think.
Okay. So let's stop it there because I'm going to help you out. So since a woman submitting comes first because women hold the key to sex. And she won't have sex with a man unless she submit because sex is the most ultimate form of submittance, right? So since that's the most ultimate form of submittance, sex, yes, that is the most ultimate form of submittance. That comes first usually. Obviously, women aren't virgins and they're not waiting until marriage. It's 2023, so everyone is having casual sex out here, right? So normally the woman submits first and then the relationship happens, right?
Not always. I mean,
How
to each
many
their own,
women get
but
into a relationship without them having sex first?
I've done it. I mean, in all honesty, I've done it both ways. I think a lot of people have,
You would
but I
think
mean,
that
just
more
like
generally speaking, women have sex first, then get into a relationship.
I'm sure a lot of women have, but I'm sure it also hasn't worked out in their favor a lot of the times that they've done that. Because just like women can friend zone men can sex zone women. You know, that's not always the best thing to do.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying about what's best. I'm just saying, I'm not talking about if it's good or bad right now. I'm just talking about what is. So generally speaking, women hold the key to sex, so women are submitting to men, right? So that's what they're doing first. But it's multiple forms of submittance, right? Now, when we're talking about submittance in a relationship, I agree with her answers because, one, it is extremely easy to get a guy to commit. Extremely easy. Most of the dudes in your DMs that's all begging for you, you could probably get them to commit to you. But those are the lower value guys that you don't even want them to commit to you. So that's the point, right? So there's all these guys that you have an option, sexual option, and even a relationship option, but their value is too low for you to genuinely love, admire, and respect those men. So you don't choose those guys, right? So that's, but if you did, you have the options though. So since you have those options, it is much easier to get committance from a guy than it is to get submittance from a woman, especially in this day and age. In a relationship, getting a woman to submit to the man fully, of course, sex is the most ultimate form, but I'm talking about all the other forms in a relationship. Having that woman respect that man. I don't date women that go out to the club. I don't date women that dress like this. I don't date women that, chilling with her single friends on a late night. I don't date women that take vacations with her single friends. I don't date women that are strippers. I don't date women. So men have these requirements, right? So, and to get a woman to be in line to his requirements, that would be submittance. That's extremely hard for most men to do. Only a man of value has the ability to do that with a woman, right? Most men, girls is just like, nigga, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, until you show me that you the guy, then I'll submit to you. But if you ain't showing me that you the guy, you ain't getting no submittance, no true relationship submittance, right? Because y'all all want a leader in a relationship, right? You want the man to lead, right?
Well, yeah.
Cool. So if you want the man to lead, you have to follow his lead. And following his lead is submitting.
Yeah.
And most women, my argument is that most women don't follow a man's lead in this day and age. Women run circles around guys.
I agree with you. But like I said, I can't speak for other women. That's hasn't been an issue that I've had. But I get what you're saying. And I agree with you on that. I would disagree.
I would say that has...
How? You just met me today.
Well, I disagree. I would say that has been the biggest issue that you have, and I'll explain, right? Because if you were able to attract a guy of value and retain the guy of value that you truly, genuinely love, admire, and respect, right? Meaning that you look up to him, meaning that when he walks in the door, your eyes light up. You're like, wow, you're in awe of this guy. You wouldn't have broke up with your last guy. The last guy obviously was inadequate in some way. I'm not talking specifically, but in some way he was inadequate. That's why you broke up with him. You didn't see a future with him. Women only date guys that they see a future with. And only the guys that have a future is men of value. Men, we look for girls that doesn't have a past. We don't want no girl on a stripper pole. We don't want no hookers. We don't want any of these promiscuous sexual activities in our girl that we're going to give true committance to.
I get that.
Men of value.
Has nothing
Low
to do
value
with,
dudes, they'll take anything that they could get.
I get that, and I agree with that, but that has nothing to do with whether or not I've been submissive or not. Like I said,
no, not so. Well, that has everything to do with it, right?
But you're saying that this is a problem that I've had. Like, sir, I literally just met you like a couple hours ago.
So you saying that you've met men that you truly, genuinely loved, admire, and respected, and you submitted to them, and you still broke up with them? Well, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense.
There are plenty of reasons that relationships don't work out.
So obviously he was inadequate in some way, right?
You're saying that every relationship fails because of inadequacy
Okay, so
or
let's be specific
non-submissive.
now. Let's be specific. Your last relationship, why did you leave him?
We had different values. We wanted different things in life. We weren't
Okay.
compatible.
What were the values that he had?
We just we weren't that happy together. Like we valued each other as
you keep
people.
saying we wasn't that happy when you broke up with him. So obviously he didn't break up with you. So obviously he didn't see you
one person
the way you see him.
typically does the breaking off usually.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that what happened in a relationship that made you break up with him? What didn't you see? Where was he inadequate at?
I didn't see motivation for him to do better. I didn't see any
Proven.
drive.
Stop right there, right? So right there, you didn't see motivation or anything for him to do better. That proves my point even further. He was a low value guy.
No, I mean that emotionally though.
Emotionally, financially, physically, that's all of it. That's all low value behavior, right? Any guy that doesn't have the motivation to better himself, because it's very simple. The more a man works on himself and betters himself, then the more the woman benefits from that, right?
So may I ask you a question?
A man that's not working on himself, well, the woman will be like, you have no motivation to be emotionally there for me. You have no motivation to be financially there for me. You start feeling all of these things. So point proven that he was inadequate because he had no motivation.
No, I wanted him to be able to emotionally regulate himself, not necessarily be there for me.
That's even more proving my point. Obviously, a man should be masculine. Part of masculinity is having emotional control and being an emotional rock for his woman. So obviously, if he couldn't be an emotional rock for you, he was inadequate as a man. Do you get what I'm saying? So that means that you still chose a low-value man. Let me explain something to you ladies. There's different tiers of men. There's only 3 types of men, right? There's guy A, he has everything. He's the one you see, or if he slides in your DM, you're like, you're wowed by it. He has the money, the muscles, the game, and the frame, and he has a strong mental mindset. He's charismatic. He can make you laugh. He could, make you feel the vibe. He's cuddly. He's charming. He's all of that, right? And then he also has the security. You see a future with this man. Like you don't really have to worry about, you working all your life because he has it for you, right? So that's man A. Every girl wants man A. That's the dream guy, right? Then there's guy B. He has a few things that guy A has. Maybe he got the looks, and maybe he got the charm, and maybe he got, he could dress nice and stuff like that. But he doesn't have the security. He's lacking in keeping a job, right? He has no motivation to go on Indeed and find a new job. He's always, at this job and, losing that. And at this job, you see these inadequacies in him, like little boy stuff, right? That's guy B. So he's lacking financially. Then there's guy A. Guy A, he has it financially, but he is not charismatic at all. You feel no vibe, right? He has it financially and he's an average looking guy, 5'8", a general type of look to him, but he's corny. Like you speaking to him and it's just like popcorn, dry conversations. It's no vibe. But why are you touching me? You didn't even work your way up to it. This is weird. You're feeling no emotional vibe from him, right? So here's the thing. You two ladies, 30 and 32, you always was with guy A, guy B, or guy C. You never had guy A. And guess what? Maybe guy A smashed you. He may have smashed you, right? But he didn't give you any commitment. That's what I'm saying. That's the point. So guy A, you can attract him. He'll hit it once or twice, but you can't retain him because you're not doing the things to retain a high value guy. You're only doing the stuff to retain the lower tier guys. And I know because all men, we start off as an empty slate. We all start off with 0 value. I was guy I was guy B and C. You get it? I was guy B and C for a huge portion of my life. All men start off at guy, usually guys start off, is it a D? Nothing? No, I guess it could be a D. They got nothing at all. They freaking eating Cheetos at home, playing video games in their mom's basement. Maybe there is a D. But what happened?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you clicked the button. Hold up. still gonna cut? That's off.
I think we're good now. You're back on.
Okay. All right, but anyways, I'll land my plane there. But truthfully, did you listen to understand, or did you just was like, oh, whatever this nigga saying is trash? Do you kind of get the point I'm making?
I get the point that you're trying to make. I just don't agree with it.
Well,
but I appreciate your
don't
input.
You agree with it?
You're talking about me like you know me.
Well, I know that you couldn't retain guy A.
You don't know that.
You couldn't, because guy A holds the key to commitment, to commitments. And obviously he didn't commit to you because you couldn't retain him. You were lacking in certain ways.
You act like men are the only ones who can make that type of decision in a relationship on whether or not it works out. Like, I cannot decide that it's not for me, and I can't be the one to end something.
Yeah, you ended your last relationship because he was lacking. He was inadequate. But go ahead.
So are you saying that guy A can't possibly have anything that would make him inadequate for her to break up with him? Like, she's saying,
Guy A, he would have.
Guy A having those things or whatever, like if he, you know what I mean, all of a sudden unchecks something or it doesn't meet that extra box that she has, then that's a reason for her to leave him.
I actually
Well, then guy A would be, then he would fall into one of the other traits where he's inadequate.
So you're saying that if she had retained guy A, she would still have him, is what you're trying to point.
What I'm saying is that all women want guy A.
Can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
Like a genuine question. What if, hypothetically, I had guy A, and actually I had guy A, but my last relationship was guy A, but here's the thing. He was a little bit older than me, and he already had children, and which wasn't a problem for me, but he didn't desire to have any more. And I still want children. So as a result, there was no choice but to break up, to go our separate ways.
So then does that make him not guy A?
Exactly. That's what I actually wanted to go off of. Like, that's the question I wanted to ask about what she was. Do you know what I mean?
So guy A already had children.
Yes.
And he didn't want any more children.
Correct.
And
but he had everything.
Wanted children.
Correct. But he had everything as far as the look. He was a man of good character. He was a strong provider, provided security.
How long were you in a relationship with guy A?
About a year.
And he didn't want any kids with you?
He didn't want any more children in general.
Okay.
That was it. Like, he was older than me. He was like in his mid 40s. So.
In his mid 40s? Mm-hmm. I could tell you. And how long ago was this relationship?
About 2 years ago.
So you were like 28?
Mm-hmm. 27.
27. Okay,
yeah.
So you're like 27. Mm-hmm. So I would say that most men, if they truly love a woman, right, and they're going to commit to that woman, they don't mind giving her a baby, because men want to spread their seed far and wide. This is generally speaking. I'm not speaking about that situation. So I'm just speaking generally real quick, right? Men generally want to spread their seed far and wide, and a woman that they truly love, they would want to make a copy of themselves with that woman and have a baby, right? So my perspective on that would be, guy A truly just didn't see you as that. You get what I'm saying? You were talking to him. He was hitting it occasionally. This what normally happens with guy A is what I'm trying to say. He's hard to retain. Like guy A, because he has the charisma. He got the charm. He has it all. So yeah, you feeling a vibe. You in La La Land with guy A. And you thinking like, you said it too. And I said it on my podcast before. You thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lock him down. Things are going good, but then it's like, wait, why doesn't he want to concede on this, right? On having kids? And I'm telling you, most men, if we love a woman, we are conceding and having a kid.
Okay, but what if he genuinely does not want any more children? It could be, because again, it's been 2 years. We're still on good terms. He has not been with anyone. He hasn't had any more children. Like, his children are grown.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. What if he genuinely doesn't want any more children?
Doesn't want,
and it had nothing to do with me. He just doesn't want more children.
That could be. Anything's possible, right? Right. So that could definitely be a scenario.
Right. So I think maybe, generally speaking, I think if a guy is, let's say, okay, if a guy is my age and he's saying he doesn't want any more children, then I could see your point. So. But if a guy is like in a completely different place in his life, again, I was 27. This man was in his mid to late 40s, maybe even early 50s.
Yeah.
And he had already lived that part of his life. and
he didn't
just
want any more
doesn't-
kids. So,
Right.
so I would say this, right? Here's some game. Just like the guys that are in friend zone and they're sitting there waiting and hoping for the box, like, because women hold the key to sex. And they're sitting there waiting. They're waiting for, you know, your nigga slip up so they can slide in, or they waiting for you to have a vulnerable moment and they can slide in. They're putting in work, right, in order to get box from you. Since men hold the key to sex, he had you in sex zone. So your job was to do what you had to do to get the committance from that man, right? That's one scenario. I would say that's the smartest thing to do. If it was only kids, if he was guy A and the only thing that you disliked that he didn't want to have kids, well, guess what? It'll be very hard. You know how hard it is to find another guy A. So the advice would be is, well, stick with guy A and still try to see where it goes. Since it's only been a year, see where it goes. See if you could acquiesce your behaviors more to make him, you know, acquiesce to then your behaviors and concede. Because relationship it's a tango. The man leads the tango though, but a woman can do certain things to gain commitments, to gain a better level, a higher level, and a greater chance to getting commitment from the man, right? Just like a man in a friend zone can do certain things like get in the gym, maybe not give the girl, his friend, so much attention, you know, maybe work on himself and get a better job. He can do different things to work on himself to get him in a better position to get sex from a woman, since women hold the key to sex. So my point to you is that since you had guy A, you obtained him, you didn't retain him, but you obtained him, you could have did certain things within yourself so you could gain a better position to get the commitment from that man. Make sense?
It makes sense what you're saying, but
you just don't think it was possible.
I don't agree with that particular situation. I don't believe was possible.
Okay.
Again, because there is that
could be true.
severe age gap. I mean, we were talking about a 20-year age gap.
He was 40 what?
40, mid to late 40s. So so about a 20-year age gap. At that point, he was like, I'm too old for more kids. That's basically what he said. Like, it was just, again, I was in a different place. I was still young. I still had, I'm sorry, my mic's not on?
No, the camera. Put the camera on her. Why isn't it? It's on it there too? So the camera is only on here. Oh, hold up. I can't see. It's a button. Hold up. No, that's good.
Because it's mounted on here, and the button's there.
Now I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, so
Oh,
in that, so I think in certain situations, you know, you might be right on that, you know, but I feel like in that particular situation, that wasn't the case because, you know, like I'm talking about, there was a severe age gap.
Yeah.
You know, again, 20 something years, you're in completely different stages of life. And I feel that's mainly what it came down to. Just him feeling like I'm too old for more kids. I'm too old to be up in all hours of the night changing diapers and things like that. I mean, sure, we could have hired a nanny or whatever, but I feel like it was more of a mental standpoint. You know, he was just like, I was ready. I wanted certain things in life that he had already experienced.
Okay, yeah.
And didn't want to experience anymore.
That could be the case. You know, that could be definitely the case. And where were we? Is anyone have any points?
I have a question.
Sure.
Why is it that, you know, you made points about, you know, men taking time to themselves to work on things, but, you know, when I brought up a woman doing that, it was
Hold
like,
up. You got to knock at the door. Who's at yo, Gary, get the door. Did you lock the front door? What's up? What? Yo, Gary. Yo, she's still here? What? Yo, Gary. Yo, you gotta go. Yo, Gary, can you please send her and then lock the door? Cause we're live right now, yo. Shorty was still here. What the heck?
I feel like someone should maybe call her an Uber.
Yeah.
Make sure she gets home safe, because I don't think she should be driving.
I mean, she's a grown woman. And she didn't drink much. She had I seen her make one drink over here, and then she had maybe 2 drinks. The max. You ladies had 2 drinks.
I only had one, but
You had one?
Yeah.
How many drinks you had?
I had water.
You had water?
That's my second cup.
So she had as much drinks as her. She was like that from the point when she walked in the studio. She was wild, like mad hyper. She was talking the whole time. But yeah, what the freak? Why is she still here? Sorry. Who was... We do it live. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just asking a question, just because you brought up a point about, men taking time to work on themselves, improve their quality. Whereas like when I brought that up about, women doing that before, it was like kind of an issue. And so you're also bringing up this scenario where you have, different qualities of men. Do you not agree that there's, higher qualities of women? And, why would we not have that same respect where...
Okay. Make the question. I don't really get your question.
Okay, let me break it down. Would you say that there's a higher quality of women versus a lower quality of woman?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
A woman doing any type of promiscuous or sexual activity is much different from a woman. Put it like this: a woman that's on a stripper pole compared to a woman that's working at Walmart or Target, much different.
So you're saying a woman's quality is solely based on
her sexuality.
100%, not on anything else.
Well, not 100%, but men prioritize a woman's sexuality, meaning that we look for a woman that doesn't have a past, right? So we don't know your body count, but we could only go off of your behaviors, right? We can go off of what we observe. So a woman on a stripper pole it's possible that she has a lower body count than a woman that has a desk job. Truly possible, right? But is it probable? No. The probability is higher that the woman that's chose that career path, she would be more promiscuous.
I get what you're saying, and I agree. That's not as far as like the average man. That's not necessarily desirable. I completely understand what you're saying, but to say that that's the majority of what a woman's worth is based on, I think that is
the majority.
So we're not worth anything else.
What's your body count?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Exactly. The reason why you think it's not any of my business because that that your value is based off of your worth.
No.
You know that your value is based off your sexuality.
I'm in single digits. I just don't think that, you knowing me for 3, maybe 4 hours, I think that's a very invasive question to ask anybody.
The point that you prove my point further.
No,
So
I'm just curious why a woman's worth is solely
I'm gonna explain to you.
if not 99% based on that.
Answers, right? So think about it, right? The fact that you thought it was invasively, you used the word, it's
invasive.
Invasive. The fact that you think it's that potent of a question to ask, like it's like,
no,
This is a question that only the person that is hitting it, or only the person that has that I'm in a relationship should know, or only a person that I truly know for many years or a long amount of time should know.
No, that's not what I said at all.
No, listen. That is what you're saying.
That's
you
not what I
hold the
said.
question with a lot of importance.
No, I'm more offended by the fact that that's what you base a woman's worth on.
No. You're going off topic. I'm proving my point with why it is.
I made the topic. It was my question.
No.
Though.
I asked you another question. You made the topic, right? But then I asked you a question. I said, "What's your body count?" You said that. I'm
in single digits. I just
invasive.
think to know somebody for 3 hours and ask them personal questions about their life.
For anyone to know, right? So that puts more emphasis on that the question that's being asked. You're proving my point. The reason why you're hesitant of asking because you know that your value is based off your sexuality.
No, that's not why. My thing is
this is my point.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. My thing is this is live for anybody to see. Am I going to come here and spill my personal information about my entire life? Am I going to share, all of my traumas and everything that I've been through and abusive relationships and, anything else that's personal to me? Absolutely not. That's personal information important to me.
It's important.
That's something that, yes,
Okay.
to people that I'm being vulnerable with, not for the whole fucking world or anybody on
You're proving
YouTube.
my point. It's important. It's a vulnerable topic. All of these things hold weight. So
yes,
the point that
but you have boundaries. You don't share that information with the entire world and put it on YouTube.
Exactly. That's why you don't. If you ask mine, I wouldn't care about sharing it.
But I wouldn't ask yours. I don't care.
Men generally are okay because we know my body count can be 1,000. I know that I wouldn't be less valuable in the eyes of the world
interested
or
in
in
what
the
it
eyes
is
of
because
God.
that wasn't what the point that I was making.
No, you're not listening to understand. You're still listening to respond. So let me break it down clear for you, right? You said that, well, do you think that a woman's value, I said that a woman's value is tied to her sexuality. And you think that, and you said that, well, you think that that's all? I said, not all, but that's like a priority to a man, right? We look for, men prioritize a woman's sexuality. We want a woman without a sexual past.
So can I rephrase that question then?
Sure.
Okay, so woman, absolutely beautiful. She's a virgin, has no skills, no education, no desire, no motivation to do anything for herself. She's not smart, can't hold a conversation, no other positive qualities about her. But you would rate her a high quality female because she's a virgin.
She is more high quality than a girl that has, than a promiscuous woman. To a man, she's more high quality. The thing is that you keep thinking men and women are the same, and you're looking at things from a female's lens, right? So from a female's lens, since you're a female, it's like, well, I accomplish all these things, and it's different from human value and sexual relationship value. So human value, right? And human value of your accomplishments, the woman that was out there accomplishing a lot, she has value of accomplishments. But the key thing is that from the man's point of view, we don't care about your accomplishments. We care about your sexual past, right?
Then you might as well nut in a sock because
just like
there's
you
nothing
might as
else
well
going
date
for
a
him.
bum. You might as well date a nigga that's eating Cheetos in his mom's basement and a bum. But
I like
why
Cheetos.
aren't you dating that bum? You're not dating that bum is because, well, you prioritize a man's competence, his financials, his stability.
No, that's not what I prioritize.
Okay, so you would date a bum. So why
That's not what I said
why
either.
are you 30? You're 32. So why are you 32 and single if you have no priorities for guys and you'll date a bum? Go date as many bums on the street. Go
That's
pick
not
one
what
of
I
them
said
up.
at all. I don't prioritize either one of those things. I'm single because I have goals and aspirations for myself, and for me to take the time and the energy to put towards getting to know somebody is an investment for me.
Yeah, we already. Yo, Gary, what happened? You locked the door? Yeah, bro, that's crazy, bro. She was still here, bro. This is crazy, man.
That's why he closed the door when he came back the first time.
Nick, you were supposed to lock the other door. You locked that door. We got two doors. Supposed to lock the other door and that door.
She would come knocking.
We do it live, fellas. We do it live. But anyways, let's move on. Actually, we gonna wrap up soon. We gonna.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yeah, we gonna wrap up.
I want that shit to turn. You feel me? This shit all glass, rocks outside. You know.
She heated like that, man. We got security cameras in here. We good. But anyways.
Bro, I don't want to be around this shit.
Yeah, nah, I got you, fam.
Go somewhere else.
we gonna this is the part of the podcast where the ladies, we gonna spend 15 more minutes. The ladies can ask any questions y'all want to ask to me or to other ladies or bring up any topics. So I know you have some questions, right?
I need a minute.
Okay, cool. We gonna start here. We gonna do last thoughts and last questions. So do you have any last questions?
I actually do. And this is kind of going back on, when you had mentioned, like how she was saying about like what she was working on and how much money she had and things like that. And you were like, men don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
But she was making a point about growth and all that stuff. So
That's
my
good for
question
herself,
to you,
Dalia.
it is, you're all right. My question to you is, do you believe that a woman cannot better herself while retaining her femininity? Is that not possible to you?
While retaining her femininity?
Yes.
Possible?
Like, or be feminine is what I'm
possible? Yes.
Okay.
Anything is possible. Comet can come down and kill us all. Dinosaurs could come back alive. Who knows? Anything's possible, right? But is it probable? Is it probable? No. And I'll tell you why it's not probable. Possible, yes. Probable, no. So you said femininity. Femininity and masculinity, all it is energy, right?
Right.
And it's gender neutral. A man could be very feminine. A woman can be very masculine, which we just displayed. I had to kick someone off because she was so masculine. So when human beings work on themselves and become better in the financial aspects of it, right? So it's very simple. The reason why only 20% of the population makes $100,000 a year, because it's hard to make $100,000 a year, right? You have to have competence. You have to be non-agreeable to a degree. You have to be assertive, and you have to be dominant. All of those traits are normally masculine traits, right? So in order for a woman to be in a work field, besides her selling her sexuality, we all know that a woman can make more than $100K if she's selling sex. Besides that, but if she's actually out there making an honest living, she has to be competent, non-agreeable to a degree, assertive, dominant. She has to have these A-type personality traits, right? And I could see that that's why she's making $70,000 a year, and she was able to save up and then do certain investments and save up $100,000. Trust me, I've done it too. And I make a whole lot more than that. So I know what it takes to do that. I know what it takes. I can't just be agreeing with everything. And what is femininity? Something about femininity. Feminine women just don't non-agree with everything. They usually agree with most things. They're very soft and docile and stuff like that, right? So as you work on yourself, that's great. You build up your self-value, but it's the traits that it takes in order to build up that self-value, which is normally masculine, right? So is it possible? Yes, it's possible that a woman can be out there and be an earner and be a boss chick and make the money, but is it probable? No. Because men and women, in order to make the money, we have to take on certain traits. Make sense?
It makes sense. I get what you're saying, because at the end of the day, masculinity is a state of action.
Dang, it was late. Dang, my button was late. My bad. Go ahead.
So, masculinity is a state of action, whereas femininity is a state of being. I do agree with you on that. But
well said.
What if there, a lot of, here's the thing, like you said, it is 2023. There are also a lot of women who are in situations where, because again, like you see how there's so many factors that play into this.
Women have to work
the economy,
right now.
Exactly.
The economy sucks. Men are weak and men are feminine. So yes, we know that.
Women have to work too. Almost no household can survive on one income, which is the man making the money. So in a lot of cases, actually, this does require the woman to be more masculine, to go out into the work field. And, but what if, trying to articulate this properly, but what if they're also working on themselves, which does require some masculine energy, but
they're able to still retain their femininity?
it doesn't mean that when they get home, they can't turn it off and be submissive.
Yeah. So,
so it's not probable to you.
It's not probable, but it's possible. My girl, she don't do nothing. She stay at home with my son and my daughter and our kids, and she's good. Life is good. She's super feminine. I met her. She was super feminine. When I met her, she wasn't doing much. She was chilling. She had like a little office. She got a little office job at a time, and she wasn't really asserting herself. The reason why I chose her and to be in a I picked her is because she was truly feminine, right? And that feminine energy, right? We met when I was young. I'm 34 now, but we met when I was 26, right? And I was still working on myself. I was inadequate in multiple ways, right? But I met her, and it was like a breath of fresh air to be around someone that's so feminine, right? So yeah, and I've been with girls that was masculine, that was boss babes out there, actually bosses, and get into the bag, and it was a headache. You get what I'm saying? Like, a man doesn't want to date themselves. So the thing is, when women work on themselves, not on themselves, but when women make a whole lot of money and become boss chicks, they become the men that they want to date. In most cases.
I agree in that case, yeah. And then, I agree that that is a problem with dating, just because, again, you have men that do desire to be a little bit more feminine. but at the same time, do want the woman to be more masculine and work 40 hours and yet still do the cooking and cleaning and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you do have women who want a man to lead, yet at the same time want to be the man in a relationship. And that doesn't work either.
Wait, say that again? You said there are scenarios where...
There are scenarios, so... did you get the part about the men part?
Just the last part.
But the
What did you
women,
say?
there are in some cases where they want a man to lead, but at the same time want to be the man in a relationship. I agree that doesn't entirely work either. But at the same time, I don't necessarily agree that a woman can't better herself. Like she can't go to school or she can't do something that she likes in order to attract a masculine man. Do you know what I mean? It's not about like, because the thing is, it doesn't like growth isn't also just about finances. I mean, you know, obviously she's doing her thing, but at the same time, she also has, you have a child, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she's a mother. So she doesn't have a choice but to put on that masculine energy and work her ass off.
That's the thing though, like there's nothing masculine about anything that I do. Like to say that, you know, a female is masculine because she has a job, because she makes money, because she's intelligent. Those aren't masculine.
That's not the thing. I didn't say that. I said it's the traits that it takes to make those. You are masculine. Sorry to tell you, you are a masculine woman.
Hey, to each their own. But I think, if anything, I think it's pretty feminine to be, I don't know, threatened by a woman who does certain things for herself.
I've been by a woman that does certain things.
I never said you were.
Well,
I'm
you just
speaking
said
generally.
That, but no man is. This is the thing, right? Women use these terms to put themselves higher, to make them, give them more like some self-worth. A man isn't concerned or insecure or any of these shaming terms that you want to use.
I never used any of those words.
What's the term you used?
I didn't say insecure or anything like that. I said feminine.
Okay, feminine. So a man isn't worried about a woman working on herself and making more money. It's the traits that it comes with it. That's what I'm saying. If I had a choice, any human being, be fully financially successful, but if you can maintain your femininity, great.
But to say that it takes masculinity to do that makes no sense. I've dated masculine men who were much more masculine than I, and, you know, to be able to have a man who can lead and believes in you and, you know, helps you and, you know, still, you know, is the one who provides and, you know, sets the rules and the boundaries and, you know, have me be the submissive one. Like I can still have, you know, my own opinions and intelligence and my own goals and everything like that. That doesn't require masculine energy to be able to do that. Like if that's the case, you might as well just date a blow up doll because the only thing you require them to be is pure.
Well, no. What are you talking about? I'll let you go.
A man, because a man who flourishes in his masculinity, he does not want to be with a female who's matching that energy because that's his job in a relationship. If you can do all those things for yourself, then why do you need him? Because your job when you get with him is to let him be that way so that you can flourish in your femininity.
And I agree with that. But my thing is a man also does not want to be with a bum bitch.
But that doesn't mean that you can't be like that.
I know, and like I said, I agree with that. But my thing is nobody wants to be with a bum. Just like a woman generally doesn't want to be with a bum man, no man wants to be with a bum bitch. Everybody should be a fully functioning adult.
That's part of how you said that you can't be with somebody because of this, and this, if that's not how you are by yourself alone already. That's what it's important to you, that you get there first by yourself before you depend on somebody else to do it for you. Yeah, but I'm not talking about financially or anything like that. I'm talking about having peace and happiness. Like a lot of people say like, oh, be my peace, be my happiness. And all of that I'm saying is that's something that you should be able to fulfill for yourself. You should be happy as an individual. You should be at peace as an individual. You should not rely on somebody else. That's called codependency. That's not being masculine or feminine. That's being unhealthy and not being able to emotionally regulate yourself. Right.
That has nothing to do with gender.
Well, wrong.
Men totally wrong. Men are supposed to be our almost like safe place for us to feel that way. Like once we get with them, we kind of have to let go.
Yes, and the men that I've dated made me feel safe.
I feel like
and
when we're in a relationship, it's almost like we share all the emotions. We go from feeling that way with just ourselves to feeling that way in the content of our partner. Like for me, like I find peace within myself, and I definitely haven't minded being alone when I was alone or single when I didn't have somebody I was dating. But once I date somebody, I'm more than perfectly fine with letting down my guard and letting him fill in me those areas that I did for myself, because that's his job as a man.
Yeah, as you should.
Which is why you don't want to be in relationships with those men, because they don't do that shit, which I agree with, because men don't meet most needs.
No, I've had, very supportive relationships, and honestly, like the men that I've been with, like have done a lot for me, and I don't mean that in like a financial way, but I mean in like a personal way and a loving way. Like they are the ones who helped me learn to love myself, because I, haven't always been a confident person.
I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, men and women are different, and men are attracted to certain things and women are attracted to certain things. You keep going on and on about like, and I think you understand what I was saying and what I said.
Yeah, like it's more like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I think what like you were saying is that, like you weren't trying to like, I mean, you did say she was masculine, but I feel like, she
is masculine.
Well, I mean, what I mean is like, I think what you were saying though, more so is that like, at the end of the day, everyone has masculine energy and everyone has feminine energy within them. Some people choose to be one more than the other.
I don't have any feminine energy in me.
But
so I don't know what you talking about.
Okay, I said most people. Most people do. I feel like most people do.
It's all subjective.
I mean, it's also about the traits. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Like, I have masculine traits. I'm not afraid to admit that, because again, I'm a jewelry manager that requires masculinity.
I'm getting off the topic, right?
But I think you were going more. But
it's what you choose to flourish in.
Right.
This is a relationship podcast for a reason. Mm-hmm. You ladies want to be in a relationship. You in a relationship. Kudos to you. You good. But you two ladies, right? You want to be in a relationship. So in order to be in a relationship, you have to understand the opposite sex and what the opposite sex
I can make a phone call and be in a relationship right now.
Right? You'll be in a relationship with a guy that you truly don't admire, love, and respect.
No, that's like literally.
So you have a guy A.
No,
as an option.
No, that's not what I'm saying. My point is like
no. So let me finish my point, right? Yeah. Because
you're not listening to understand.
I'm listening to you. I've been listening to you this whole podcast and refuted every point you said. But listen to what I'm saying. All you ladies want to be in a relationship. That's the goal to life. God made Adam and Eve. He didn't make Adam and said, freak Eve. No, he made Adam and Eve. We're supposed to be in relationships. We're supposed to have that connection. A relationship in a family is a good union. It's the most beautiful thing that's created, that we can create. We literally, by having relationships, we can make copies of ourselves. It's beautiful. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the point of life that we're put on this world for is to procreate and have genuine relationships, men and women, right? So in order to have a relationship for a woman, guess what? Men hold the key to relationships. So you have to understand what the man wants. You keep looking at it from a female's lens, and it's cool. It's 2023. You got the Democrats running everything. You got sexual liberation going on. You got all the stuff in the cartoons and on the TV that corrupts your mind. So I understand why you have this mental mind frame and why you're sticking with it. But the fact that you're a therapist and you don't know these basic different intersexual dynamics between men and women is crazy, because we're extremely different.
What I said.
In order for you to retain a man, you must acquiesce your behaviors to get that man that you want. You must that's what you must do. You said you can obtain men.
Nobody ever
women
said
can do that, but you can't retain guys.
You can't
retain guys that you truly, genuinely love, respect, and admire. That's why you're single and you're 32 years old right now on a podcast talking to how many viewers?
No, that's not it at all. I think it's pathetic that you don't understand that people can choose to be alone and be genuinely happy with what they have going on in their life. Like, I'm sorry that other people is your only source of fulfillment.
483 right now. We lit, man. It's the most we ever had. Thank you for tuning in. We about to wrap up, though. So that was your last question. It's a good question.
Yeah.
You want to end it?
I do. Like, here's the funny thing is that I kind of felt like I wasn't really like allowed to say this in the beginning, because it was pretty heated from the beginning.
It got heated in the beginning.
But like what I'm trying to say is, I mean, just speaking for me personally, I gotta be honest, I have been on a feminine journey to become more feminine, just because, again, that's what I desire for me. Because in my 20s, I have been more masculine because, you know, you kind of feel like, okay, this is how the world is. You know, so you got to be like that. Exactly. Survival mode. I don't like being in survival mode. When I get into a relationship, I don't want to be in survival mode.
You want to let your guard down.
Exactly. I want to let my guard down. I want to be submissive. So I am on a feminine journey right now. But what I'm trying to say is that even though I am on a feminine journey and I would like to attract the right guy for me, what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, you were saying like a woman cannot grow herself. She can't work on herself and still be feminine. But you said it's not probable for her to still be feminine.
Possible.
But possible, not probable.
Yeah, of course.
Right. But what I'm saying is, you know, it doesn't always have to like revolve around finances. You know what I mean? What if, like, okay, I want to go to school because I want to get out of retail so that I can be in a job genuinely doing something that I love. That doesn't make me less feminine. Do you know what I mean? But that's still self-growth. I'm choosing to leave something that isn't for me and do something different.
Yeah, ladies.
That's growth.
And I want y'all to understand this. I'm not saying don't get to the bag. I just told you and expressed that, you know, the world right now, that men are more feminine than ever and men are weak. And in order for a woman to truly be in her feminine nature, men must step up, period, right? It takes a masculine man to lead, right? So in society, period, men need to lead, right? So right now, we're in a situation where men are lacking masculinity, so women have to take on that masculine trait and assert themselves. So I have a daughter. I'm not telling women to work. I would never, I'm not telling women not to work. I would never tell a woman not to work and go out there and better herself. All I'm saying is live in reality and just know what it takes for you to make that 100,000 or plus. The traits that it takes you to make it are masculine traits. So the probability of you retaining your femininity is low. Is it possible? Yes. But is it probable? No. So yes. And you got to think about it. Men, we aren't attracted to masculine women. We're just not. It's a turn off. It's like, it's a headache. That's why I had to kick her off. You know what I mean? It's a headache. We don't want to deal with that. Right? So if a man of value, because we have choice, we worked on ourselves and we gained value, we would choose a more feminine woman. The men that don't have the value of choice, they would choose a more masculine woman, a woman that's going to be talking back, a woman that's going to smack them at Walmart, a woman that's going to be disrespecting that man, right? But those are the men that you don't even want anyway. You get it? And then the icing on a cake is that luckily for you said that you're willing to date down. Kudos to you. Most women in general don't want to date down. The more money they make, the higher their standards go up. They want their man to make more money. So normally a woman that's making 100K, she wants her man to make literally 150K or 200K plus or more. She doesn't want to be leading that relationship. And the truth is that finances, whoever's making more money wears the boxers in a relationship. That's just the facts. Like, I don't care what niggas say about, oh yeah, you know, she making more bread, but I'm doing this and that, you know, I'm still that dude. Bro, no, you not, because she's sacrificing more of her time to be the breadwinner. She's more competent than you and having enough the intelligence to make the money, because it takes competence to make money.
Yeah, it changes. It changes you.
It changes the whole dynamic of the relationship.
The more money you make, the more that it changes you. So you don't want somebody that's not at the same
making
level.
a whole lot of money. They tend to grow resentment for that man anyway. Women that's dating men that their man can't lead the relationship, they tend to grow resentment because it's like, you're not even a man. What's going on?
It's like you physically can't be on the same
ladies?
level.
I know before in the beginning of the podcast, it was like, well, it just seems like he's bashing women and telling, no, I'm not bashing women at all. I'm giving you the key to success. I'm telling you, hey, men are very simple creatures. We prioritize beauty and femininity. However you can prioritize that within yourself. And when you're courting the guy, he's going to choose you and give you commitment. That's how you get commitment, right? You have to work on those traits of yourself. If you're working out there and getting the bag, that's for you. Because think about it. Even if we're in a relationship, well, my money is your money and your money is your money. Because there's no female in this world that's ever going to provide for a man long term, forever. A man will provide for a woman long term, forever. Baby girl, you never have to work. at all. And guess what? He's not going to grow resentment for that woman. But it doesn't work like that. Attraction isn't symmetrical. A woman will not provide for a man long term. She may do it for a summer. She may do it if the nigga, got into a car accident and he can't work, he lost his job. He may do it to the 6 months of healing.
Or if he wants to go to school or something.
Or something like that. She may help out. But even within that process, she like, ugh. And then if he doesn't get it together after that, resentment grows. And then she got one foot out the door and she got a backup plan. Like the first question I asked.
Because that's not what women look for.
Because it's not what women look for. Attraction isn't symmetrical. But good question. Let's move it on. And last thoughts on the podcast.
I think I'm pretty much good for now. I mean, I feel like we do kind of like agree.
We agreed with a lot of stuff here on here.
Yeah. It's just, I felt like in the beginning, and then, to be honest with you, like,
it was because of that girl, bro. Like, she was saying mad stuff and interrupting.
I'm going to be honest. So, yeah, like, I mean, my first impression, I liked her. But I do think as the time went on, it got way more heated. And then it kind of took her leaving to kind of feel like, the energy was a lot calmer. Like I'll be honest. Yeah, exactly. So I do feel like we agree on some things. It's just, I think in the beginning, with all the other stuff going on, it kind of felt like, it did feel more like an attack. Like you were kind of like, me personally, I felt like you were calling me promiscuous. And I'm like, dang, I'm not even sleeping with anyone right now. I'm like, how am I promiscuous?
Every time I would say something, right? And I'm like trying to make a point, she would come in like, not for men. And then she's saying things. And then I'm talking to her points and to your point. So you thinking that I'm calling you something. But I wasn't. I had to talk to both points. But would you come back?
I would come back.
Come back. Maybe we have someone on that ain't too drama crazy. So last questions for you? Any last questions? Any questions for me? Anything you want to know or anything you want to say? This is time to shine or the time to give your last thoughts?
No, I think you answered my questions.
Okay, cool. Last thoughts on the podcast? How'd you like it?
I appreciate your feedback, although we don't agree on things.
Cool. We can agree to disagree. Would you come back? She like, nah, man, I ain't coming back. She's like, nah, you call me masculine. You said I'm 32 and never gonna have a relationship. I ain't coming back.
Specifically, you said she was gonna be 40 and single.
Say it with your chest.
That's ridiculous.
This your time
I don't agree that's gonna be the case.
I consider, like I said, either way, whether I'm here. I mean, if I'm here, I'm gonna say what I have to say. But like I said, I appreciate, offering a different perspective on things.
Take it as realizing how rare it is to find a female like yourself. Take it in a positive way like that.
Well, it's not rare. It's actually extremely easy to find a female like her. What?
Here you go again. My thing is female, male. Like, if you are happy with yourself, at the end of the day, that's what matters. I am very happy. And
well, ladies, I feel you. This podcast is called No Fugazi. It is extremely easy. Yo, can you switch the camera? It is extremely easy to find a woman like her, what you just said. I know you want to make her feel good. This is not.
It's also extremely easy to find a man, that is super opinionated on a lot of shit that he don't know a lot about.
This is what I'm saying. This podcast is called No Fugazi for a reason. She's 32 with kids. It's super easy to find a woman like her. With one kid. Yeah. That's still super easy to find a woman like you.
Singular.
Extremely easy. You making money, we don't care about that. You got an education, we don't care about that. We care about
y'all to care. I did that for
me. And friendly. So and so far you're not feminine. Fit, I'm not sure about all of that. And, friendly, you've been cool. I'll give you that. But that's no fugazi. Anyways, you had no more questions. Let's go to you.
I don't really have no questions.
No more questions?
No, I don't really.
You had questions.
I did have questions, but I feel like it would just be too much of a topic. But I feel like,
okay.
What you said before about how, like, a lot of women in this generation, or I don't know what exactly the term was you used, saying that a lot of women now are more masculine or something like that. I do agree with that, but I think that as women, we are just a reflection of you guys, and that things always develop over time. So I feel like the reason that women are alike that now is because we feel influenced by you guys to act that way, because when you know what I mean, you run out of options type of thing. Like, a lot of females feel like that's how we defend ourselves now, which I feel like it honestly just takes finding the right person to get out of that mindset, because I feel like for a long time I definitely was a man hater and didn't think that, you know what I mean, you could find somebody that gets you out of that.
And it's very simple.
Definitely
too, right? Can. When you get a man of value, that man of value holds you to a different standard,
Yeah.
right? And since he's holding you to a different standard, that means love comes from that, right?
Which
we
makes
just
you hold
explained
yourself
that
to a different
the
standard.
men that don't love, the men that's not working on themselves don't have much love to give.
Yeah.
The men that are working on themselves and are out here bringing value to the world, they have more love to give. So then that means that woman that can retain that man, she also is loving herself more because she's able to retain that man. The woman that goes for low value guys, they don't really love themselves because that's all that they can get. They're not really working on themselves and the ways to attract a high value man. Because every woman wants guy A. I'm trying to tell you, I do this podcast. I had, maybe 150 girls on here so far. And all women want the big G. They all want the big G. They don't want the small G. They don't want the dude that ain't charismatic. They don't want the dude that's making under 100K usually. They don't want the dude that's short. They want the tall, handsome, attractive, charismatic, driven, money go-getting type of guy that can, take care of her and give her a future. But those guys are hard to retain because they got options. Simple as that.
That gives that.
Would you come back? Because since you got other questions, I'm sure you want to ask them.
Yeah, I was going to say I would 100% come back. I
back?
think I should be a co-host or something.
You could come back and ask your question for sure. I'll have you back.
All right.
I clicked the no Fugazee button on you. You were speaking facts. And you also said some facts too at the end there as well.
Yeah,
But,
I liked this podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this. I thought I was
this was only with 4 girls. I do this with 8 or 9 girls, so it gets even more crazier.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I thought I was going to be up here arguing with you.
Yeah, normally it gets crazier. I had to kick someone off, but I've had some crazier moments. But anyways, subscribers, hey, I think we were at 400, 500. Where we at right now?
We're at 504.
We at 504 right now. Thank you for all the 504 tuning in. The next podcast will be releasing on Sunday. So subscribe, like the podcast. You got to like this. Y'all Ninja Watchers. If we have 500 viewers, it should be 500 likes right now. So like the podcast. That literally helps to get into the algorithm. So if you like this podcast, click the like for me. We need that to get it into the algorithm. Other than that, this podcast was no Fugazi. Tune in the next time. Next podcast drop Sunday. We out.